and drive a car you love for just $5 down. My Dealer Next Door credit approval process is free of frustration because we work with the lenders who want to approve your application with rates as low as 1.9%. Right now, you could drive a nicer, newer car for just $5 down. Come to my deflation celebration. But hurry so I can help you beat inflation today. I'm RC Hill Mitsubishi. 2 locations, DeLand and Ocala. Central Florida's first choice for new Mitsubishis. Visit me at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. See dealer for details.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Join Orange County Public Schools. Hiring techs, trades, custodians, and more. Bonuses for many roles. Benefits valued at $21,000 a year. Career fair at Orlando's University High School this Wednesday from 4 to 7 p.m. Application help and on-the-spot interviews. Details at jobs.ocps.net.
You've heard CEO Howard Mackler of Innovation Refunds and GetRefunds.com explain how they've helped so many small businesses with their ERC tax refunds. In fact, Innovation Refunds has already completed over 17,000 refunds for many kinds of businesses just like yours. Construction, retail, restaurants, bars, hotels, and so many more. The ERC tax credit is a refund on your already paid taxes. It's not a loan. ERC is designed to let business owners use their refund money for anything in your business needs. It's totally up to you. Innovation Refunds could help you get up to $26,000 per employee to use as you see fit. So go to getrefunds.com to start the process, and in around 8 minutes, you could be on your way to receiving money for your business. There's no upfront charge, and they don't get paid unless you get paid. Innovation Refunds has already helped clients claim over $5 billion in payroll tax refunds through the ERC, and they may be able to help your business too. Go to getrefunds.com or download the app from the App Store today. That's getrefunds.com.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
The News Junkie is on.
The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day.
The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. Lots to get to today. From this could be a disaster to the internet is mad at Mr. Beast again. And a lost woman survives on lollipops and wine. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Sabrina will be here in a moment. Hello, C-Lane.
How we doing?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show. All you need to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your messages rolling right into the studio in real time. How are you doing on a Tuesday, C-Lane?
Not bad.
Hanging in there?
Yeah.
No car today, I see.
Yeah.
Making noises?
I was expecting that, although I didn't realize that until like halfway through breakfast, so I'm glad I didn't. Glad it wasn't one of those days where I push it.
Yeah,
where I like leave the house at 10:30.
We scheduled things as if the car was there ready to take you somewhere.
Yeah.
No, it's just Sabrina's on her way in. She woke up and had some problems with Carl this morning, her little dog. I guess he got bit by something.
Yeah, but when something that small gets bit by something.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he's like the size of a thumbtack, this dog. You can hold him in the palm of your hand. He's a little thing. And he got bit by something, so she had to run to the emergency vet and stuff. And I think Carl's going to be all right, but she's going to be in here momentarily.
The last update I heard is she actually has to bring him here. So
no,
now four dog house.
No.
It's going to be Carl versus Simon versus Elvis.
Everybody say goodbye to Simon and Elvis because today is their last day. Their dog mom, my sister, is coming to pick them up tomorrow. She's moving to her new place. She got everything set up, and she's going to be picking those two up. And their journey here after 6 long weeks will be coming to an end. So if you see them on the camera today, if you're watching on YouTube and Twitch, say goodbye to big old Chunk and Elvis and little Simon. And they are sweet dogs, but, glad to get back to just Lady here before too long. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to the President of the United States, Joe Biden, and he was trying to pronounce the name of an Asian woman. Things did not go well.
I honored a group of trailblazing artists with National Medals of Arts and Humanities. The group included groundbreaking Asian Americans like Vera Wang and Joan Shingang. I'm going to pronounce right. Shanga. Kawawa.
What?
Is it Chihuahua?
Did he take a short little siesta in the middle of saying that name?
Shanga Naga
work here anymore.
Shanga Kawawa.
Kawawa.
I think I pronounced it correctly. She can call me Joe Bitten.
There he goes. Struggling with that one a little bit, President Biden.
Maybe we need to work on having phonetics in the teleprompter.
Yeah. Just spell it out so it's easy for anybody reading to get it because he did not get that one.
There are some times where we have to reach out and get clarification, but there are some times where we're having to say stuff and they give us a guide.
Yeah.
Most importantly, for Fogo de Chão.
Yeah, right.
Because
I can't say half the words.
There's a lot of stuff there, that's part of the menu.
Full churrasco experience over Fogo de Chão. I don't know how to pronounce those. I guess that's the second time he's butchered her name in less than 2 months, though.
Listen, she's probably at a point in her life where she's allowed to be annoyed by this. But I'd be just super excited the president needed to say my name twice in a month.
Yeah, just that's a high praise just that you're mentioned twice, even if they absolutely butcher your name. All right, we're going to get to a lot today, including your dispatches and many, many more things on the show, of course. But I did want to touch on this. I don't know what's wrong with people. Everybody on the internet is stupid. They're all mad at things that really don't matter most of the time. They're all complaining about dumb nonsense. And they're all going after people who really don't deserve to be gone after. And Mr. Beast, he got in trouble when we even talked to the doctor that helped him do this.
Right.
When he restored vision to a bunch of these people who were blind.
What was he in trouble for again?
They were saying that, they were mad at him. I can't even remember exactly what their point was. He was wrong for doing this for some reason. Oh, because he was making money off of a video that showed the plight of these people that were blind. People that he helped get their vision back.
Yeah.
But, that doesn't matter. And we talked to the doctor involved, and the doctor was a nice guy, and it was a great, great cause. And this time he tried...
Didn't seem to like... money.
No.
Or charging people for his abilities.
Everything this doctor did was like, we're trying to do this for free. We're trying to do this for free. And like $1 million machines, but we're doing it for free. And now he went in another direction. Mr. Beast did another very, very, very viral video. He's the most prolific YouTuber out there. His videos get 25, 30, 50, 100 million views sometimes. And the latest one was he was giving hearing back to 1,000 deaf people.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. That's did he not know any better?
I know.
That's a thing that's really going to piss people off.
He got burned for this. They said he gave out these specialized hearing aids.
He should have done it in the form of a podcast.
Yeah, that's the way to really do things. But
because then the people that are really pissed about it
wouldn't be hearing it. They said 1,000 deaf people were part of this video, not just in America, but he always does it like around the world, so people can't complain about that. He does it for people of all sorts of different backgrounds and poor people and all kinds of stuff.
I've been seeing his picture come up lately. I think so. This seems to be unrelated to what you're talking about. Was it just his birthday and he did a birthday thing too?
I don't know.
Or was his picture coming up because he's in the news and so they needed a picture? There's been a picture on social media in the last day or two of him sitting on a bed covered in money with buckets full of more money.
Yeah, that's this.
And that was for the deaf thing? I thought it was for... Like, it's my birthday, I'm giving out money.
Maybe it is. He's always up to something. And this was the video that he made, though, trying to give these hearing aids to 1,000 deaf people, and everybody gets mad. They call it inspiration porn because they're miserable lunatics who do nothing good in their lives. And this is one of those things where it's just like, if you're not doing anything and somebody else is, whether they're doing it for a video that makes money or not, just shut up.
Well, they're not mad because of that. I mean, I guess there are probably the inspiration porn haters and stuff, and he's a level of famous now where the nicest, goodest thing he could think of, there will be somebody there to call him an asshole for it.
Still somebody to hate on you.
But in the case of trying to help out deaf people, there's a sect, there's a version of deaf people that says we are not in need of any help. We're not handicapped. We're not disabled.
There's nothing wrong with us.
Nothing wrong with us.
This is how we're supposed to be. And if I was given the opportunity to get my hearing back fully, I would.
For free, even if you paid me for it.
Which is stupid. I mean, I hate when people
agree.
And they're beyond reproach because you can't go after a deaf person even if they make a stupid point. It's dumb. Everybody in the world should be, if they can, given the beauty of being able to see everything and hear everything around them as best they possibly can. And going after somebody, even if they're making a YouTube video, for doing that is absolutely ridiculous. He's got 151 million subscribers. He's sending a message about how other people can help this. It's a good thing. Whiskey Zombie on YouTube says, it was a money giveaway. People posted that picture to be entered into a drawing, so that's what you were seeing.
Okay.
He's also been in social media chatter because one of the guys who kind of started with him, like his clan, his group that are in all the Mr. Beast videos, is now transgender. And people were like, oh my God, is Mr. Beast over with because his friend is transgender? And he's like, it's my friend. What the hell are you guys talking about? Everybody comes after this guy for the dumbest stuff. And I wish that would stop, but it probably will not. I'm not sure what he's going to do next. Maybe help the mutes, but the blind and the deaf are out of the way in terms of Mr. Beast's videos.
Voice boxes for everything.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things that, when you're a little kid, if you hear that somebody is either deaf or blind, you think about it wrong because you don't fully understand. When I was a little kid and I heard that somebody was deaf, I thought that they lived in a completely and totally silent world. I thought that somebody was blind, lived in a pitch black world. Mm-hmm. And little do you know, that's not the majority or even almost all of those people who are deaf or blind. They just have very, 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 very limited hearing or very, very limited sight. And if there's anything we could do with our medical abilities and our science to help those folks out, I think we should absolutely do it. Before we hear from you, I want to tell you, stay away from this, okay? I know how this story ends before it even begins. And Burger King is at it again. They're debuting something, C-Lane. It's a promotional thing.
All right.
I don't think anybody should try this. Stay away. I know what's going to happen. But the story says, I've got it here in front of me, Burger King debuts bright red Spider-Man Whopper with infinite combinations. And they once again have changed the color of the Whopper to a bright red for Spider-Man to promote this stupid movie that's coming out.
It's like the head of marketing at Burger King only has Photoshop.
Yep.
And it's just going, let's do that Whopper.
They did the black Whopper.
We did a black Whopper.
Famously, they did the black Whopper.
Here's a red Whopper.
And guess what happened? When people ate the black Whopper, it did things to the poop, and they were weirded out by it. And now they're going to eat the red Whopper.
Depends on how it was blackened.
It's got to be full of food coloring, right? To make this turn to Spider-Man Red?
For Spider-Man Red, yeah, but I'm thinking about the Black Whopper and what would make it black.
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of things are made black by activated charcoal,
right?
Which is actually not great for you if you're taking any sort of antibiotics or something.
It's really good for you though if you drink a lot of alcohol, right? Isn't that what they use? They put in your stomach when you drink too much.
Well, it's how they help pump your stomach,
right?
But it stops things from being absorbed into your bloodstream, like. If you're on some sort of important medication,
you wouldn't want that.
You shouldn't do that.
You wouldn't want that at all.
Now, I would think that a fast food place like Burger King would have something different, but it's still, like you said, affecting the final product.
Yeah, it's going to do that. It's going to do it. Don't eat this thing. For God's sake. It's going to happen. It happens every time. Poopy Cats on Twitch says Red Whopper is going to turn it red and scare the hell out of you. And that it is. All right. Before we hear from you, I want to remind you that you can join us on the show at any point in time. And all you have to do is go to thenewsjunkie.com. You can on your laptop, your iPhone, wherever you are, hit record and send us what we call a dispatch. Don't worry about waiting in line on the phones. You don't have to do any of that. But when we do come back, I want to tell you about something that brought in 9,498 complaints. And one detail about this is going to blow your mind. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
They won't tell you this, but your pets are pretty lonely when you leave. No worries. We'll keep them company. Just say, Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Hey fam, what's happening? Hopefully your Tuesday is going great, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, it seems that we're just experiencing those delays you're used to, and that's of course I-4 eastbound approaching World Drive as well as approaching the beach line from State Road 536. You'll feel delays westbound as well between Central Florida Parkway and State Road 535, but thankfully the turnpike is clear north and southbound, and the same does go for the Greenway. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by GetRefunds.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. If you own a business and still haven't applied for the payroll tax refund, we want to pay a licensed tax attorney to see if you're eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
At SimpliSafe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with SimpliSafe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options, backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new play.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Ocean Bank is coming to Orlando. So we decided to bring you a break from the commercial break. Take this time to dream about how you would grow your business with Ocean Bank. Visit us at oceanbank.com. Ocean Bank. Member FDIC.
Sharing your health story matters.
I knew since I was 5 years old that I wanted to be a nurse. I equated it to helping people and making them feel better. I am gently retired, but even though I'm not at the bedside, I'm able to do just as much work in the community. I've been fortunate to participate in All of Us.
Joining the All of Us research program means contributing to research that may help people of different backgrounds.
I received DNA genetic profiling that showed that my body metabolizes medicine slower than average. Now I had proof of what I've known about myself all along that are specific to me, to my genes. I'm sharing my story because if I can make a difference, then I'm all in.
Share your health stories today and help guide the discoveries of tomorrow. Learn more at joinallofus.org/NIH. Paid for by the All of Us Research Program.
Speak to the experts at Fence Outlet about their fence in a box with prepackaged material for 4 popular styles, including posts, caps, hardware, and cement. Your fence project has never been easier. Go to fenceoutlet.com. License number C10252.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando. Best price the first time. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Well, the action in Hollywood grinding to a halt. There's a writer's strike on for the first time in quite some time. That means all those late-night shows are just doing nothing right now. Couldn't do Saturday Night Live last weekend, and there's a lot more implications across the industry. And I was watching some stuff yesterday on this, and I saw some of the actual writers out there. And I thought, let's get the perspective of somebody who is one of these writers in Hollywood and somebody who is out there protesting to try and get some changes pushed through and work with the Writers Guild to make some things change and update with the entertainment landscape as we know it now. And so I saw one of the most prominent folks out there, this writer by the name of Michael Jamin, and we've got him with us. Michael, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Right.
Hi.
There you are. I saw you out there on the line doing your thing. Have you been out there every day protesting?
Yep. Every day I try to choose a different studio to mix it up.
Yeah.
A little variety helps.
Get some new scenery in. And you are somebody who's done a lot of work on some shows that people definitely know. Michael has been a writer for King of the Hill. You might have heard of that. Beavis and Butthead, Marin, Wilfred, Just Shoot Me, Rules of Engagement, Tacoma FD.
Oh, dude, Rules of Engagement was such a great show.
It goes
very underrated.
On and on. You're somebody who's been very successful at this, and you even teach others to get in the world of screenwriting. Why did you fall in love with this job?
You know, when I was a kid, like all I wanted to do was I wanted to be a writer on Cheers. I thought that would be like the best job ever. Mm-hmm. And then after college, I moved out to Hollywood to try to, make it in. And years later, I wound up getting a job that was on the Paramount lot where Cheers was shot on the same exact stage. And I was like, damn, I made it. And I just got here too late.
Yeah. You're right there. And you landed on these huge shows. You're writing. It's got to be, when you're doing something like King of the Hill, for God's sake, is there a lot of pressure doing this job? I want people to get a sense of what you writers actually do. Is there a lot of stress with saying, I don't want to screw this up, I want to write a great episode?
Well, yeah, but that's kind of any job. In King of the Hill, you could do some long hours. It's not uncommon to work, I don't know, 12, 14, even longer days that are even longer. I remember, I think the hardest part on King of the Hill is that we were writing 9/11, and so the planes hit the towers, and that day, like, no one went to work.
Yeah.
And the next day, we all had to go to work, and we had to write jokes, and we had to write funny stories, and no one was in the mood for months to do any of that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Anyway,
I remember, and all the stand-up after that was really kind of odd to get back into after a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, based on the list of shows that Sean just rattled off, and the fact that you were talking about writing right around 9/11 or the day after, you were then involved in the first writer strike, or at least the most recent one in 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
What's the difference so far, in looking back on that and the writer strike of today?
I think the writers today feel like, and not just the writers, other union members feel like this is more of an existential threat, and that we really need to draw a line in the sand now. If not, we're kind of signing our own death warrants. So this is important.
Yeah, let me throw out a word to you, and you tell me what you feel about this word, Chat GPT. How's that make you feel?
Well, I've played around with it. Right now, AI cannot write anything close to what we do. It's not. If they want to try doing it now, it'll be just terrible. Go ahead.
AI is not funny. AI is not funny at all.
Not funny at all. Yeah. In 5 or 10 years, could it be? I don't know. But it's possible. I know this is part of what we're striking over. It's odd because AI it's a plagiarist tool. It scrapes the internet for public domain content and also stuff that's copywritten, and it just steals and then it puts it together and slaps it up. I'm a little surprised that the studios are exposing themselves to this kind of liability, because I think that's what. But apparently they feel like there's so much money to be made by firing so many writers. They're willing to risk it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. There's so many hurdles that are ahead of them here. You're right. It's not there in terms of being able to write to the level of an actual TV writer and an accomplished one like yourself, Michael. And it's also something where there's huge copyright question marks, and they don't know if they had Chat GPT write a script for some of the stuff you've done, like Beavis and Butthead or whatever, would they even own that? And that's a huge thing for the studios right now. They want to own absolutely 100% of everything that they're involved in. Before we get to some of the things that you want to see change and that the writers in Hollywood want to see change before you can get back to work here, walk me through, like, what is a day like for somebody who is a writer for television shows? What goes on in your day?
Every day is different, that's what makes it so exciting. But basically, you come to work and you generate ideas and you pitch them to the showrunner, who's the head writer, and the showrunner decides what stories are going to be told and how they're going to be told. And then you start figuring out on a whiteboard like that, you start breaking it, we call it, where you figure out what the act breaks are, what the scenes are, how the scenes unfold, what the storylines are. And it could take a week just to break a story. And then a writer will go off and write an outline. They get notes. The first draft get notes. Second draft it's very collaborative.
Yeah. So you sort of block it out. Like if you were doing an episode of King of the Hill, you'd say, in the first act, this is going to happen to Bobby, and then Hank is going to do this in the second one, and then from there you piece together all the actual words in the script that you have to write.
Absolutely. A writer would never be sent off to write a draft without doing all that hard work first.
God, I feel like I would just stare at the computer screen in front of me. What do I got here? So now we find ourselves in a position where I think a lot of people have a wrong view of the life of a writer, which is why I wanted to kind of talk to you, Michael, about your background. And for those of you listening, it's Michael Jamin is a writer of some of the biggest shows on television. He's part of this writer's strike, obviously, that's going on right now. I think a lot of people have this false vision of a TV writer where you get involved with some big projects and then you just get that sweet, sweet mailbox money and you live in your beautiful home in the Hollywood Hills and you guys are actually maybe even overpaid. What's it actually like?
Yeah, that's not. Most writers are middle class and there's no job security, which is fine. And we signed up for that. We know that. But you're always struggling for your next gig.
Well, we can tell he stole a parking meter back there.
Oh yeah, that's if someone wants to sit in my chair, I need the quarter.
Yeah, so it's
hope you wrote that joke before the strike.
Yeah. So it's not this situation where everybody is like so well off and the Hollywood vision that people see.
No, and that's what the strike is really over. It's about so that most writers can afford to be writers, because the way it is right now, it's getting very hard to sustain a career. So, you asked about the 2008 strike. The studio's leverage over that was like, well, can you really afford to be out of work for 3 months or 6 months? And that's what scared the writers. Like, I don't know if I can. But now the way the shows are structured because of streaming, most writers already are out of work for 3 to 6 months or even 9 months out of the year. So what difference does it make if you're on strike?
Yeah. Tell me how that works. What is the difference when you're somebody who's a writer in Hollywood and you're writing for like a network show versus writing for one of the streamers? Because I know that's one of the points of contention, that the payment model is just different for working for a company like Netflix than it would be if you were working for, let's say, like CBS or something.
Yeah, it's a complicated discussion, but I'll try to make it this kind of simple, oversimplify it a little bit. But so back when I was doing network television, if you were on a hit show, you might do 22 or even 24 episodes a season. And that would have been like 10 months out of worth of work. That's a good chunk of work. Then you take a short hiatus and you do it again. And most writers get paid per episode produced. But now, if you're on a hit streaming show, you might only do 8 shows a season.
Right.
So 8 versus 24. And you're only getting paid for those 8. And to make matters worse, often they don't want to pay you for the entire run of the show. They only pay you to be in pre-production. So now you're making much less money because the orders are shorter, and also they kind of tie you up contractually. So
yeah, it doesn't seem fair, honestly. I think a lot of people agree with that. It seems like what happened was the model changed, and the big corporations behind the new model saw a moment to take advantage of things where they wouldn't have to compensate the people who created the content that we all get to sit on our fat asses and enjoy, and they enjoy paying a lower amount than they would otherwise.
Yeah. And so over the past 10 years, the average writer's salary has gone down 4%. But over that same period of time, studio profits are up 39%.
Yeah, not to mention the cost of everything else has gone way up, and we've seen things get more and more expensive.
Let's say we were talking to you about 2 months ago, before any of this strike stuff started coming up, and you on the same day got 2 offers. One was for a Netflix show, and one was for one that was on NBC. Which one would you see yourself in a better position taking?
If you told me I had 2 offers in the same day, I'd tell you you're lying.
Well, I mean, I said it's very hypothetical.
Honestly, you probably make more money on a network show. You might have a little more creative freedom on a streaming show, but the money's definitely better on network.
Yeah. Right. Is there anything that you, through the years, you've been writing since the 90s for these TV shows, writing episodes that people fall in love with and that mean a lot to people, for shows like King of the Hill and Just Shoot Me and all the rest? And is there ever a show that you've looked at and you were like, oh, I would die to write a couple episodes of
You're not listening to him? Cheers.
Cheers. After post Cheers world.
Well, I remember I worked on a couple of shows where the other writers were, had been Cheers writers. And I remember sitting side by side with them in a writing room and thinking, man, I have made it. I'm with them. I'm one of them now. Mm-hmm. But sure, there's so many great shows. I mean, Seinfeld, Arrested Development. There's so many wonderful shows that I just like. I love. I'm a big fan of science fiction shows like Severance. I love. I don't think I'd be a good writer on it, but I love it.
It's interesting. So there's shows that you watch that you get into yourself, but you're like, this is not in my wheelhouse.
Oh yeah, Black Mirror. I can't think. I don't think like that. And so I'm a comedy writer. That's what I'm really good at. That's my lane. And if someone wants to hire a comedy writer, they can do it. They hire me. But if they wanted science fiction, they choose someone else.
Now, when the union goes on strike like this, do they are they very clear? Like, do they send out to all the union members like, here are the do's and the do nots as of from this day forward, or do they just kind of go, hey, let's not catch you working, get out there,
right?
Get out there.
No, they send a list of things that we can and can't do, and they're pretty clear. But I mean, they don't come to our house and beat us, but we're all the writers are a community. If you look at the writers, the people on the line, it's very cordial, and people kind of these are people we work with. So.
Yeah. Michael, are there any scabs out there? Are there any people who are still writing despite the writer's strike being underway?
There's a misconception. I think a lot of people think, well, I can be a scab. I can break in as a scab. They don't want to hire you. The studios don't want to hire someone who hasn't done it before. These shows, like a low-budget show might be $1 million per episode. They're not going to trust that kind of money to someone who doesn't have a long track record of doing
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
So you're not going to break in as a scab.
Yeah.
Are there some writers who are breaking the line now? I not that I know of, actually.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's kind of coming together on this. It seems pretty sensible to me, honestly. But how long do you think this is going to last for? The last one was a couple 100 days or something.
Yeah, it's like 100 days. We don't know. We have no idea.
Yeah,
you know.
And from what I've seen, the most frustrating thing for you must be, but perhaps I'm wrong here, but I read a couple of articles in Hollywood Reporter and some other outlets where they were outlining how the negotiations were going, and you would see how the Writers Guild would say, here's what we're looking for. And then the representative for all the big multimedia entertainment companies would say, we have nothing to talk about with you right now. And it's seems like the negotiations and the lack of understanding of if any progress is going to be made is tough when you're just waiting to write your next TV show.
Oh yeah, I mean, none of us want to be on strike, but we also don't want to write ourselves out of a career.
Yeah, right. Of course, I don't blame you.
Do you? I mean, I wouldn't think this would be disallowed, but do writers take the time during the strike when they're not picketing to just have a whole boatload of jokes in the notebook, on the back burner?
Yeah, get ready.
Especially on the comedy side, at least.
Well, no, not jokes, because those are always, dependent on the situation and the show you're on. But you're certainly a writer can work on a pilot idea or a screenplay idea on their own, and they can even write it. You just can't try to sell it. You can't meet with your agent or a producer or studio executive. What you do at home, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you and your fellow writers out there. Michael Jamin, Jamin, writer on Instagram. You can see everything he's up to. He's out there on the front lines and got a bunch of his friends along with, and we wish you the best of luck, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
That was fun talking to you, man.
There he goes, Michael Jamin. He's written for some of the biggest shows like King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead, and on and on and on. Look at his IMDb. It's lit up with this stuff. But none of that is happening right now. It even shows that we're in production. Like, what did we say yesterday? Stranger Things. They shut down production because they got to do things like rewrites. It's a whole situation right now.
I had a weird, stupid IMDb moment yesterday because I was looking up somebody, and next to their name it said strike, and I was like, oh wow, is IMDb keeping up with everybody who's currently part of it? No, it was a show called Strike. Something I'd never heard of. I was like, oh, that was dumb.
All right, quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear from you, see what you have to think. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com to record yours right now. Plus, that thing I mentioned before the break, 9,498 complaints. What were they about? And the fact about those complaints is going to blow your mind is coming up next on The News Junkie.
Facebook. More than a place to remind you of birthdays. Find us and like us. Real Radio 1041 on Facebook is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. We have a hot day ahead. Afternoon highs will be reaching the low 90s through the Orlando metro with an increase in clouds by this afternoon. Wake-up temperatures for your Wednesday morning will be in the upper 60s with hot highs near 94 degrees in Orlando. Rain chances will be on the way by your Wednesday afternoon, and they do stay elevated throughout the day on Thursday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Ah, what a day to be a Florida tomato. You say tomato, I say, what the?
Florida tomatoes. They're ripe for the picking. So look for Fresh from Florida tomatoes where you shop.
From the Florida Department of Agriculture.
Business owners, if you're feeling the pressures of growing your business, which obviously makes sense, a lot of stress related to being a business owner, but that's part of the reason why you enjoy this. However, it's best for you to focus on building your business and leave the rest to people who have a lot of experience. It can be tough to maintain momentum and keep your employees engaged, and Insperity can help you with all of this. They put over 35 years of HR experience to work. They help you with things like hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance while giving your employees competitive benefit options. And if you ask new employees or prospective employees what is one of the most important things to them, that comes up every time. They want great benefits. and Insperity can help you with that. When your people thrive, your business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. This is scalable HR. It's employee benefits. It's HR technology. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
RC Hill here. All over the nation, everyone's seeing inflation. In fact, RC Hill Mitsubishi is just about the only place prices are going down. It's my deflation celebration event, and it means you could drive a new Mitsubishi for just $5 down, because we work with the lenders who want to approve your application. Drive a car you love for just $5 down. But hurry so I can help you beat inflation today. I'm RC Hill Hill Mitsubishi. 2 locations, DeLand and Ocala. Visit me at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. See dealer for details.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, risankizumab Rizza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hear that? That's the sound of water coming from leaking pipes. Hi, this is Pete from Repipe Specialists. Let's end those leaks and the damages they can cause to your walls, ceilings, and floors by replacing those old, corroded, or brittle pipes with high-quality new ones. With over 30 years of experience and work that's guaranteed for life, Repipe Specialists will expertly and seamlessly repipe your entire home in just 1 to 2 days. Call us by this Saturday to save 20%. So long, water-dripping drum solos. If you have leaks or even low water pressure, call Repipe Specialists now at 407-337-4020 to schedule a free home estimate and to save 20% on your entire job, plus 0 down, 0 interest financing for the first 18 months on approved credit, local and insured. Call 407-337-4020 or go to repipe.com. That's 407-337-4020. Repipe.com. Repipe Specialists, making your repipe job fast, seamless, and simple. That's our specialty.
The way healthcare works today can be frustrating. So many different doctors to keep track of, different tests, different medications. It's a lot. Welcome to Village Medical, a whole new kind of primary care covered by most Medicare plans. Here, your own doctor coordinates all of your care for you, even talking to your specialists and your pharmacist to manage prescriptions. There's a lot more about Village Medical that we think you'll love. When's the last time you said that about healthcare? Go to villagemedical.com and become a patient today.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
This is Lars.
James from Metallica here.
And this is iHeartRadio. What's up? This is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. We're the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
At SimpliSafe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with SimpliSafe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options, backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Make your summer getaway to a new bed. Shop Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 50% on top brands, with Queen starting at just $179.99. Plus, save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets.
Extreme mood swings, substance abuse, change in sleeping habits, avoiding friends, family, and the things you used to love, suicidal thoughts. These are just a few of the signs of mental illness, and if you or someone you know is experiencing them, research says that talking about mental health has the power to make a person suffering feel less isolated, and we all deserve that. Go to iHeartRadio.com/talk for tips on how to start the conversation. This has been brought to you by NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and iHeartMedia.
This hour is sponsored by Barks in the City, June 3rd at Apopka Amphitheater. Radio! 104.1.
Oh, Sabrina is here. How's little Carl doing?
Oh, he's all right. He's going to be okay.
He's so tiny. I feel like he's
Sweet
fragile.
boy. That was a wild morning.
Did he get bit by a snake or something? What happened to him?
No, I mean, they couldn't really figure out what bit him. I have a feeling that it was like he stepped on like a red ant pile.
Oh, really?
But yeah, we were in the middle of our walk this morning. He yelps and then like books it to my house.
Oh,
and
no.
then the next hour and a half, he was just acting very bizarrely, like pacing, panting, freaking out.
It was
started
bothering him, huh?
Itching him from the leg, then it went to like his ears and his throat, and then I went to take a shower and he jumped in the shower.
Oh, really?
And so I'm like, well, you've never done that before, and I immediately called the vet. And
Yeah, what they say when your pet displays like unusual behavior like that, it's usually the sign that something is happening.
Yeah, so I mean, God, I can't imagine me as a parent to a human child because I was freaking out.
Run around in
Vet tech
circles.
was like, take a deep breath, man. And I got to give, shout out to my vet, Winter Park, because they were like, bring him in. They immediately saw me. They gave him a bunch of injections and fluids, and he was not panting anymore when he was brought back.
Is he high as a kite right now?
I think
drugs.
He's a little stoned. He's hungry, but he's not freaking out. I'm sure he's going to be itchy for the next couple days, but he is okay.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good to
so
hear.
apologies for being tardy.
That's an important reason to go seek some help. And I know that when you're in the vet like that, especially if you're like in the emergency vet area, when they come out, they could say anything. They could be like, "This is going to be $5,000." You're like,
Yep, take it.
Just bring the dog out and tell me that he's okay. That's the thing that I'm looking for here. All right, we have some time to get into your dispatches in a moment here. Plus, I want to play something that happened on a radio station that I cannot believe happened and is leading to some fallout now. But the Department of Education, all right, I saw this story and it just made my eyes pop out of my head. In 2022, so last year, the Department of Education had 9,498 sex discrimination complaints that were filed with them, all right?
That's a lot.
So imagine you work at the Department of Education. The amount of complaints that are coming in that you have to look into and investigate last year alone was 9,498. Remember that number, 9,498. Of those, 7,339 of 9,498 complaints on Title IX were filed by a single person. One person alone filed 7,339 of the 9,498 complaints, they said.
Any of those followed up, like maybe after the first 1,000?
They did follow them up. They said the person would have had to file an average of 20 complaints a day, sex discrimination complaints a day, or nearly 1 an hour in 2022. Wow. The individual has been filing complaints for a very long time with OCR, and there's sometimes
Are they
found
working?
They
Are
said-
they getting any work done?
Well, they can't be. This must be their full-time gig, just sending complaints in to the Department of Education if this is true. They said some of these have been founded, and they have to investigate them. She noted anybody could file a complaint for any perceived violation of Title IX. It doesn't have to be about their own experience. There's not a lot I can tell you about the person, they said. They go on about
So we're
this.
maybe doing them on behalf of other people?
Yes.
Like an HR
yes.
person?
So this is just a regular person who, I don't know if they're seeing news stories or just filing them randomly against every single school they possibly can. One person was responsible for almost all of the complaints that they got for sex discrimination in 2022.
So wait, this was not an employee.
No. This was an individual who took a lot of time to do this. And it says, so the 7,339 complaints from that single individual last year took a very substantial amount of time for my staff. This is insane to think of. If you work at the Department of Education, they have this whole team of people that investigates when there's sex discrimination complaints. And this could be a wide variety of things that happen in, schools across the country. And this whole department is basically kept busy and working all the time because one person keeps filing these complaints over and over and over.
It's so weird.
Which is wild to me. One complaint could include more than one type of alleged Title IX violation, encompassing, for instance, both athletics and gender harassment. So who knows what these were all about, but a lot coming from just one person who is being real loud about things. Okay, over to this radio show. Okay, this is from WLWAM in Cincinnati. And there's a show that's been on there for a long time called Bill Cunningham. And Bill Cunningham, for a little while, had a daytime television show that was very much like Maury Povich or one of the big drama farming things. And I think he does like a conservative talk radio show on WLW.
He is old as,
70-something?
That's not a phrase.
Is he 70-something?
I just Google imaged him, and he looks about 150 years old.
Yeah, he's been around in the industry for a long time.
Is 1929, so.
And he was talking to, Bill Cunningham was talking to a guy named Bob Huggins.
94 years old.
Bob Huggins is the West Virginia basketball coach. So for the college basketball team out of West Virginia, he's the coach. This is a very prominent guy, and he called up. Let's listen to a little bit of what went down.
Hello. Coach Bob Huggins, you're on the air. I'm sitting here with Steve Muller and the Segman.
What would make you think I wanted to talk to you?
Hey, Coach. Now, we're telling the Huggins story.
AM radio sounds so bad.
It does,
so
and
hard to
I'm
listen to.
amazed that it has not changed at all.
It sounds like a bad dispatch. The whole thing.
I have a quick retraction. There is actually another Bill Cunningham, famed American photographer, also was on TV.
Oh, that's a separate guy.
Yeah, he is dead. He was 94, or would have been. This is another dude that is 75.
This guy had a TV show, and he's had this radio show in Cincinnati on WLW for a very long time. He's talking to this coach.
Stories, but we had a cut at which you kind of took a little shot at me as not being a trustworthy person. Would you want to revise and extend those remarks?
Absolutely not.
So we're screwing around back and forth. We're ribbing each other.
Also, that hip hop bed in the background.
I don't know why a conservative talk show host has that beat in the background, but
Can y'all just not talk?
and they're going on. They're going back and forth. You're going to hear the part that got him in trouble, and it's going to make sense why he got in trouble in just a moment.
And I thought it was misunderstood, taken out of context. It was out of context.
I don't know. It must have been my thoughts at the time.
Now, Steve also tells me that you have the best portal transfers. Have you poached any Xavier guys to come to play for West Virginia?
All right, so they're talking about basketball teams and trading the players or whatever. And this is where the conversation slips into something a lot more controversial.
Catholics don't do that.
No, we're above the fracas, aren't we? No problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I tell you what, any school that can throw rubber penises on the floor and then say they didn't do it, my God, they can get away with anything.
Rubber penis. Was this
I think that was at the Crosstown Shootout, wasn't it?
It was transgender night, wasn't it?
What?
Was that it?
It was a Crosstown Shootout, yeah.
All right, now there's you see the territory that they're wading into here, right?
Yeah.
I guess something happened where one of the fans of one of these teams threw like a penis on the court. Who the hell knows?
Who hasn't?
Transgender night.
Happens at every game I go to. Now, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe. I don't know if he was drunk or what, but here we go.
No, what it was all those fags, those Catholic fags, I think.
What? Yeah, that was what you thought it was.
down.
He said, F word for gays, Catholic F word for gays. He said that twice. It just like rolled off his tongue. And then they kind of,
what?
I think even the radio show host was like, whoa, hold on. And they kind of like stopped a little bit.
All right.
They were envious they didn't have one.
Steve, your comments about Bob Huggins. Is he the best?
So they just
Is he?
move on to the next thing. And then I see this. It says Bob Huggins, West Virginia basketball coach, apologizes for a homophobic slur. And it said he used a homophobic slur to refer to Xavier fans while also denigrating Catholics during a radio interview. That's the trifecta. Homophobic, against Xavier fans, and against the Catholics all at the same time.
Yeah, burn it down, huh?
West Virginia's athletic department called his comments offensive and said it was reviewing the matter. It says
What was he thinking?
I have no idea. That's why I was saying, was he drunk or something? Like he's just like you're on a radio station and you say this, and you don't think that there's going to be a backlash if you're a coach of a college basketball team? My God. He said, Catholics don't do that. I tell you what, any school that could throw rubber penises on the floor when they say they didn't do it, by God, they can get away with anything. And then the part that you just heard. Later Monday, Huggins issued a statement saying he used a completely insensitive and abhorrent phrase
twice
that there's simply no excuse for, and I won't try to make one here. I deeply apologize to the individuals I've offended, as well to the Xavier University community, the University of Cincinnati, and West Virginia University. He said that word like he says that word
all
commonly.
The time.
It went right off his tongue. As I've shared with my players over my 40 years of coaching, there are consequences for our words and actions, and I will fully accept any coming my way. I'm ashamed and embarrassed and heartbroken for those I've hurt. I must do better, and I will.
Screw you.
West Virginia
Whatever.
Athletic Department says the comments were insensitive, offensive, and do not represent our university values. And they mentioned that he has apologized. But this guy, even though he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to survive that one. There's a huge difference between what just happened there. He knew what he was saying, and he said it twice, and it was obviously homophobic. But between that and the other broadcaster that was trying to say something different and accidentally said the N-word during a broadcast.
Do you remember what he was trying to say? Like United Negro College Fund?
Yeah,
or
something like that. It was a
See
museum.
how easy that was for you?
It was like
called
the
Deshaun.
Negro Sports Museum,
Right.
and he had gone there the day before. And by the way, I think the museum has come out and defended him and said, like, obviously he didn't do this intentionally, and a bunch of other people have as well. It was a slip up. This happens to people.
But a hard R. Good God.
I've heard it happen a bunch of times. Remember when that guy? It was a TV guy. I don't know if he was a meteorologist or what. But he was trying to say Martin Luther King Day, and he said Martin Luther Coon Day.
Yeah.
And they came after him.
Oh,
fierce.
people wanted his job.
And I think he did get fired. I believe he did get fired. I might be wrong on that, but I think he got fired after this. This guy is a totally different situation. He knew what he was saying, and he still said it.
What does he have to lose? What is he going to lose here?
His job as the coach of this West Virginia team
He's
will be one.
75 years old.
Yeah.
He's got it made. No problem. That's why he slipped it out without any breath in between. Double down.
Here's what's weird to me. You heard how he said that, right? And you heard that clearly it came across as homophobic, right? But then afterwards, how different is his response, his apology? It seems like those are two completely different people, right? Like the person who issued the apology
hired a PR team.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it came from the same person's voice in the slightest. All right, what do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch. We'll get to that when we come back. Also, we'll talk about a new plan on how traffic stops should work. And this could be rolled out across the country if people get their way. Plus, something that people are smuggling into Israel. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever heard of, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up later today on the Jim Colbert Show, your chance to win tickets to Aerosmith Peace Out the Farewell Tour with the Black Crowes at Amalie Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 p.m. on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey fam, what's happening? Hopefully your Tuesday is going great, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, it seems that we're just experiencing those delays you're used to, and that's of course I-4 eastbound approaching World Drive as well as approaching the beach line from State Road 536. You'll feel delays westbound as well between Central Florida Parkway and State Road 535, but thankfully the turnpike is clear north and southbound, and the same does go for the Greenway. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Shoppers, this is your local sweet corn farmer letting you know that Florida sweet corn is in season. Grown right here by farmers just like me. These golden cobs of sunshine are already in the produce section, waiting to go home to your family's dinner table. For all your local grown in-season foods and ingredients, ask for Fresh from Florida or look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com. And happy eating.
When storms hit, we're here for you. With new grid technology that can reroute power to avoid outages and better communication to keep you in the know. And as we transition to a cleaner energy future, we'll still be here for you, keeping your costs down even as we work to expand renewables and explore new energy sources. We're Duke Energy, and we're building a smarter energy future for you. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years it's going to explode, obliterating the Earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time. At GiveMeTheVin.com, I'm overpaying for cars because I think they're going to go up even higher from where they are right now. We'll pay off your payoff. We'll pick your stuff up. We'll quote you quick and easy at GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best car buyer. Go there right now, and if I don't beat a CarMax offer, I'll send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hardworking Americans like you and me are sick and tired of this brutal stock market. Take ownership of your financial future. Visit Phoenix American Hospitality at PAHinvest.com. Their team of experts buys world-renowned hotel brands like Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt and maximizes profitability for an investable REIT that's open to everyone. Visit Phoenix American Hospitality at PAHinvest.com to see their incredible track record of double-digit returns in the most volatile of times. Past performance is no guarantee of future results.
After an accident, it's important to hire an attorney right away. Evidence can disappear quickly. Sure, you could wait to hire an attorney later and see how things turn out, but delays never make a case better. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. JustCallMo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
What's the best part of a Dunkin' Run? The coffee, the $1 donut, or $2 stuffed bagel minis, or $3 sausage, egg, and cheese? The answer? Yes. $3 offer available on sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich only. Excludes specialty donuts and fancies. Offer valid on medium or larger coffee. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Rizza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Shoppers, this is your local sweet corn farmer letting you know that Florida sweet corn is in season. Grown right here by farmers just like me. These golden cobs of sunshine are already in the produce section, waiting to go home to your family's dinner table. For all your local grown in-season foods and ingredients, ask for Fresh from Florida or look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com. And happy eating.
Hello, Floridians. Today's a good day to do great things. Yes! Like scheduling the dentist appointment you've been putting off for 2 years.
Oh, man.
Like finally fixing that creaky door that drives you crazy. Like getting that massage you definitely deserve.
Oh, yeah.
Or taking time to make sure that your air conditioner is ready to beat the heat all summer long. Do something great today, right now, by booking your $159 AC rejuvenation at CoolToday.com.
Call today, cool today, cooltoday.com.
As America's largest injury law firm, size is our strength. Morgan & Morgan.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
I got a line on a way for all of us to make a ton of money. We're all going to be rich. We're going to be just swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck.
I'm ready.
And it's so amazing to me the ability that some people have to grind out jobs, like weird-ass ways to make money. And this is one of the most insane ones I've heard of in quite some time. It's just like the 1, 2, 3 punch of how this went down is wild to me. And this is happening in Israel, of all places. And Americans are like, I see an opportunity. I want to make some monies. And these Americans, they see this opportunity and they're taking something over to Israel to resell it because they can make a lot of cash on it. And I'll give you an example here. They said an American couple was caught last week trying to smuggle 375 pounds of this stuffed in their suitcases at the airport near Tel Aviv. And they were stopped for going over a limit that they had. And they've stopped many more people from doing this in the last couple of days. In their suitcases, they had 375 pounds. What do you think they were sneaking into Israel to sell and make money, Sealand?
Was it a food item?
Yes, it was.
My first guess is pork.
Pork. It is
Bacon?
not. It is not 375 pounds of pork.
I feel
that they
like
tried
the
to smuggle
dogs
in.
would have picked that up at the airport.
That was not it. And at that long flight, oof, a lot of things could have gone wrong there.
So it's not available, or it is available, but in low quantities, therefore worth a lot of money.
Yes.
Is it a condiment?
It is not a condiment.
Okay, well then I've not given my official guess.
It is a childhood snack.
Oh.
A childhood snack that they got 375 pounds of, and they stuffed it in their suitcases and flew from America all the way to Israel to try to make some money.
Go-gurt.
Oh, man, you're on the periphery.
Chocolate pudding.
It is fruit roll-ups.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The reason for this is insane. They said in Israel, there was a TikTok video of a girl eating a fruit roll-up and explaining the treat to everybody, and people wanted to try one so bad that there was major demand everywhere in the country to buy fruit roll-ups.
Why wouldn't the company behind fruit roll-ups just send it over?
I don't know. I don't know why there was like some sort of log jam here, but people started buying it in bulk, and this couple bought 375 pounds of fruit roll-ups, put it in their suitcases, and went over there because they could buy each fruit roll-up for cheaper than 50 cents, and they were going for $6 over in Israel. So they thought, we're just going to take this and we're going to flip it real quick and make a bunch of cash. And it's not the only people that did it. They've confiscated in the last week alone 661 pounds of fruit roll-ups that people were trying to bring into the country.
All right. You said that the couple who tried to bring in 375 pounds went over the limit.
Yep.
Does it say what the limit is?
11 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
They went a little bit over that limit.
Did they even have room for like clothes, a toothbrush?
I was thinking about
Just
this.
fruit roll-ups?
All right, a fruit roll-up does not weigh that much.
No.
How do you get 375 pounds of fruit roll-ups into your luggage? How much luggage were they bringing along with them? We must be talking about like a whole line of suitcases.
Also, is this like... What, is this a customs thing where it's 75 pounds of food? Or is it something where they can't just be charged a tariff on this and go on their way?
Yeah, it says a video posted by Israeli news outlet Mako showed a customs official rifling through the bags.
Hey, didn't they make your app?
As someone off camera claims he bought the treats for his family. So this guy is like...
You just have a family of 7,000.
The 375 pounds of fruit roll-ups are just for me and the family.
I want to do the math now. So how much does one fruit...
Not much, right? They're really, really light. We've all had a fruit roll-up in our hands at some point.
So first thing off the bat, 0.01 ounces.
Okay, so this is a lot of fruit roll-ups.
How many?
That's what I'm saying. You stuff the luggage full of these things. There must have been like a dozen suitcases just chock full that they brought over to get 375 pounds of fruit roll-ups to smuggle into the country to sell for $6 a piece. They said Mitchell Cohen, the owner of the historic Economy Candy Shop in the East Village in New York, said a customer recently placed an order for 10,000 boxes of fruit roll-ups. I reached out to my distributors and they said, look, dude, we haven't seen fruit roll-ups in months. So this is a huge problem. It all goes back to the one viral TikTok.
It's 12,000 fruit roll-ups.
Oh,
12,000 fruit roll-ups. And
roughly.
If they sold them for $6 a piece, well, that's what, $72,000 in fruit roll-ups?
Times 6. Yep. $72,000.
$72,000 in fruit roll-ups that they would have made.
They should have just paid the tariff. That wouldn't have been that much.
Some people just grind like that. It's so insane to me.
What would happen if instead of traveling with them on your person, you just shipped them?
I don't know
if you just find someone, to be the middleman.
Yeah. And you could obviously the market's there. It's so strange. And why wouldn't Fruit Roll-Up notice this happening and go, let's obviously ship everything we have over to Israel right now? They're going to buy the hell out of these things. Laheva Rasta said, is there going to be a fruit roll-up shortage now? There's a very good chance that there will be.
There might be because I can't seem to get one on Amazon right now.
Yeah, I think that because of all this.
I had to go to Amazon to look up the nutrition facts to find out the exact weight of one roll.
So if your little kid that is going to school every day is fond of the fruit roll-up in his lunch, not going to get that. And it all goes back to one little viral video where somebody was eating this. And Catherine on Twitch says, damn, now I want a fruit roll-up. Yeah, too bad. I don't think it's going to happen for you.
It was suggested as I was typing in fruit roll-ups in Amazon, bulk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's because of what's been going on. They do have like a box of 72 fruit roll-ups. There's 27 and a half, or excuse me.
Well,
72 fruit roll-ups.
72 fruit roll-ups for $27.49.
So those are $1 a piece. And I would imagine the prices are going up for people who are buying them even in the United States because they might want to take them and sell them at other places.
38 cents a piece.
38 cents a piece. That's a big markup. 38 cents a piece to $6 a piece. That's a good return on investment. Forget the stock market, folks. Just wait for opportunities like this. Make your money in fruit roll-ups. That's how I always thought I'd do it. Meanwhile, there is a huge study that is set for release, and it could change everything about how policing works in the United States. And I kind of think it's a good idea. But I want to know what you think about this. In Los Angeles, they had this study that's been delayed forever from the city transportation department. They're about to release this. They've been working on it for years and years and years. And what they are planning on doing is having all traffic stops done by civilians and not police officers.
Yeah, that's going to work out real well.
All traffic stops. Now, follow me on this, all right? If they just had people who were not cops who would pull you over and issue you a ticket, kind of like a hall monitor situation. The hall monitor is not a cop, but they can get you in trouble. They're a student just like you, but they can get you written up and you can get in a little trouble if you're running in the hallway. If you put regular people in those vehicles, having them go around town to write tickets for people who are speeding or other traffic violations instead of the cops, I think that could be good. And here's why. Then the cops could focus on solving crimes, doing work that's much more cop-related, and that's not revenue generating, right? And then you get away from the idea that there's a little traffic stop that starts off with a police officer pulling you over because your brake light was out, and then ends with you in handcuffs
or shot dead
at a traffic stop. And you could end all of that by making it such a smaller thing. You do have to wonder, are people going to rage on these people who are just fellow citizens that are writing you traffic tickets?
And I think the fellow citizens will get power hungry and start trying to pull other moves.
They could, yeah, and they could be right for like being bribed or something, but so could a cop, I guess. And we already have people who do that, like the people who write our traffic tickets.
This is true, but
they're not police officers.
People
Or not
who-
traffic tickets, excuse me, parking tickets. Is
Yes,
what I meant.
and the people who write parking tickets generally are not around the owner of the vehicle or driver of the vehicle when they do that part of their job.
Yeah, they're sniping.
I have ran up on somebody writing me a parking ticket. I go, please, this is money, I have the money. And they're like, all right. But I feel like it's going to put whoever does this job in some unnecessary danger. Not all the time, but at least in some cases. Are they going to be able to actively call for backup?
Yeah, I would imagine they would have some sort of
To what
system.
level do we deputize these people, and should we?
And what kind of traffic stop? Is it not for speeding, I imagine?
I'm sensing some hesitation on both of your parts.
Yeah, we don't like this idea.
In my mind, I see this as the people who give out traffic tickets or give you a ticket for running a stop sign or something like that are simply like the people who write you that parking ticket. That is their role. They're a government employee, but they're not a police officer. If they end up in a situation where things get a little dicey, then they call the police, who respond immediately, and they handle things from there. But all the cops can be freed up to doing work to actually stop crime from taking place, arrest people who are committing these crimes, and not be involved in revenue generation stuff. That could be a different thing. And then I think over time, people would realize if they were getting pulled over for speeding or getting a ticket for a stop sign, hey, this is not a cop. And the interaction would be a little bit different. I think that could work.
I don't know. I'd be like, you're not a cop. Go F yourself.
Yeah. Just like the community service, you see, like, or community officers.
Yeah.
It's just like an 80-year-old that drives around the neighborhood
with a yellow light.
And everyone slows down until you read the side of the car, and you're like, well, F you. What are you going to do?
I think you would have some trouble adjusting to this. But I love the idea that you wouldn't have the escalation of traffic stops. And think of a lot of the situations where we have seen somebody shot by the cops in the last 5 years. And of those that you're thinking in your head, how many of them started with a traffic stop? The answer is a lot of them. The answer is even ones where somebody said they were reaching for their taser, but the person was trying to drive off, and that may not have been a traffic stop that initiated that, but the person was in a vehicle. There's a lot of these that start with some sort of traffic stop and then escalate beyond that. And I'm not saying it's like the magic bullet or anything, but I'm saying we could reduce police forces to just have the amount of people we need to keep law and order in effect, make sure we're safe at our houses, people aren't stealing stuff out there, everything is rolling along like it should. And I don't know. Maybe you're
about it because you go 5 under the speed limit everywhere.
I don't have to interact with these people regardless. That's right, because I'm a very safe driver. I haven't gotten any tickets in a very long time. Although I almost lost my mind yesterday. I was driving the shirts to the post office after the show yesterday.
The post office.
Oh, God.
How many trips?
That's a lot of boxes.
A lot of boxes. You saw how many boxes were out there. So I load up the car with every box that I possibly can. And I go there and pull them all out, bring them into this big warehouse area of the post office, and I stack all these boxes on top of boxes on top of boxes. And then I drive.
Did you go to the downtown one?
I went to the downtown one.
That's a good one. You don't have to interact with anybody.
No, you don't have to see anybody. You go up a set of stairs and drop them off in this little area.
So you have a post office.
Yeah.
Right down there.
But they don't do it there.
No, it's a whole thing over there, C-Lane. And if you run into the lady who hates her job, she makes it a nightmarish process.
Yeah, you can't just drop them off in the back like you can at this other place. So I drop off this huge load, all of these boxes stacked way, way, way high, taller than me. And I come back home and I'm like, oh, I'm running low on gas. My gas light is on. You know how I am about that. So I pull back up to the house.
Yeah, but it's going to be so boring for you to fill up your gas.
I hate that. So I pull up to the house and I open the door and I start loading with boxes again. And I end up with one extra box.
No.
And I'm trying to fit it in this way and that way, and Jen get in. I'm like, maybe I could sit with it on my lap in the front seat
That's
for the box.
a terrible idea.
The box is too big.
Bless you.
Excuse me. And I go, son of a bitch. And I drive back to the post office, stack up the boxes all again. Now it's just looking ridiculous in the back of this post office. And I said, well, I'm just going to do it. I don't want to wait till tomorrow. I'll get the last box out there so everybody can get their shirts really quickly. And I go back and I put one box in the car. And I look at my gas and I was like, I think I should be able to make it.
Oh, no.
I dropped the last box off and I'm headed back from the post office. And I look down and I see I have 4 miles left.
Oh, yeah, plenty.
On my dash. And I go, I'm good to go. But then it's 5 o'clock downtown.
Ooh.
And so I'm hitting every stoplight and I'm sitting there and I look, I'm still a little ways away. I look down and the number 1 is staring me back in the face.
Now,
And
I've
seen
heard,
0. Have
yeah,
you?
I've seen 0. And then I was always told, maybe a wives' tale, that you still got like 2 to 4 miles after it hit 0.
It would be smart if it was done that way, and I hope it is, because that way they keep it for dum-dums like me, so you'd have a little extra. But I look down and I see 1 mile left, and I go, oh, my God, there's a gas station right up here, but I keep hitting every stoplight. And as I'm pulling into the gas station, it's like, whoop, whoop,
Oh, buddy.
and I go, oh, my God.
Are you due for an oil change?
I was, no, it's just out of gas. It was completely out of gas. This was the problem.
What?
And then I pulled up to the pump, and I go, all right, finally I made it. And I said, I'm going to try that little trick where I can do the prepay amount at the pump.
It
didn't work.
Yeah, I did it. I went, and I don't even want to do the prepaid trick because like I said when we talked about it originally, I don't like having to wait for that last 50 cents.
Uh-huh.
So I don't care if I get it right exactly at $30 or a little bit over, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I did try it just to see if it would go, and nothing.
And I was screaming about getting stuck in traffic. I was screaming about being out of gas, and then I'm screaming about the stupid trick doesn't work at the gas pump. So what the
That's
hell?
all done. Well, there you go. You did it.
All your shirts are out there. Long story short. Let's go over to you. Let's see what's happening with your dispatches. And we got a bunch of people chiming in. Here's
That's a bunch.
Herbert 420 with the dispatch.
Good afternoon, News Junkies.
Hey.
Sean, what about the police robots? The AI police robots will be on the street within 2 years, 24 months tops. So those
maybe.
could be
We already
easily
have that.
implemented to just write tickets. Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, we already have that with our red light cams and stuff.
Right.
That's like using some sort of algorithm, I guess, to see like how long they should wait before the car is going across and you give the ticket or whatever. There's some kind of software involved in that. I think that if we could take more and more of our traffic violations, like I'm not a big proponent of any kind of Big Brother thing or more surveillance or anything, but I do actually think if we had a setup on most of our major roadways where if you were speeding X amount over the speed limit, it automatically looked at your tag and sent you a speeding ticket to your house, and we can reduce the amount of police officers who are pulling people over for traffic stops, which is a waste of their time. That's one of the things that people don't think about here. It's a waste of their time. Somebody rolls through a stop sign and a cop is now going to pull them over and write them a ticket and all. It's a waste of time. It's a way for them to generate money. If there's citizens doing that job, I think it could be better. But here's Meat Pop chiming in.
Good
Hello?
afternoon, y'all.
There you are.
Sean,
Hi,
I'm
Meat Pop.
not sure I agree with your opinion on the whole cop, not cop, pulling people over thing. We have a problem with pulling in people's driveways and shooting them dead. I can only imagine if we're regular people are pulling people over.
Yeah,
I don't
or
think that's gonna work
ringing
out so
doorbells,
well.
huh?
I don't know. You tell me.
Or this. Check this out. I saw this last night. I said, you're kidding me. A Louisiana man got arrested after opening fire at children who were playing hide and seek on his property, hitting a 14-year-old girl in the head. And you go,
Did she survive?
I think so. Yes, I believe she did. The girl was transported to a hospital out of town to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. but there is a particular type.
Yeah,
of
they all
old
look
ass,
the same.
Old ass dude. A lot of these guys are white. And it seems to be the violence that they're engaging in, and they have somebody like step on their property, and you open fire on kids, for the teenagers playing hide and seek on your property. Now, were they actually playing hide and seek? Who the hell knows? But the fact is, there's a lot of super trigger happy people out there, and that is an insane problem that we're facing, or at least it seems so with the stories that are popping up in the last couple of weeks here.
That's one of those stories where I saw the meme before I saw the actual story, because I just saw the story now, and I saw a meme about this already this morning, and I went, don't know exactly what they're talking. Are they talking about last week's thing? Is this a new thing?
Kind of scary that it could be different things. I'm not sure about what rando shooting, what person that did something innocuous they're talking about here.
Oh, I saw a sponsored post on probably Instagram, but you flip through some of your people you follow, you flip through their reels.
Yeah.
You get some reels or stories or whatever, and then you get a sponsored one.
Yeah.
And the sponsored one said, "Pray for Nashville." And I went, "New Pray for Nashville?" Or did we just now gather up all the money to sponsor this?
That's a frustrating and bizarre thing that we're kind of tackling here as a country. When we come back, a substitute teacher gets cuffed and arrested. What did she do? And do I dare rush to her defense? We'll see. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
You know you can always text us, unless you're driving, at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. goldsmithjewelry.com.
Hey fam, what's happening? Hopefully your Tuesday is going great, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, it seems that we're just experiencing those delays you're used to, and that's of course I-4 eastbound approaching World Drive, as well as approaching the beach line from State Road 536. You'll feel delays westbound as well between Central Florida Parkway and State Road 535, but thankfully the turnpike is clear north and southbound, and the same does go for the Greenway. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Kickstart your imagination with Audible. Hear celebrity and music memoirs, mysteries, true crime, and more. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Don't miss the boat, my friends. Compare your quote today. Go to thatmortgaguydawn.com. Brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Dawn, president of Happy Home Mortgage Brokerage and host of the Home Loans Radio Show, and the man that is here for you with over 250 five-star Google reviews and 1,100 reviews at Experience.com. I think it's very safe to say that Don knows what he's doing, and I can say with full confidence that he has your best interest in mind. Now, chances are very high that you're leaving money on the table, so get the money off the table and back in your hands where it belongs. Get a free fast quote review at thatmortgageguydawn.com. Hit the compare button, and Don's going to review your quote today. That Mortgage Guy Don, he's a mortgage broker, not a corner bank or retail lender. And that means he has direct access to wholesale lenders that consumers do not. So if you want to see the difference, go to the website right now, click apply now, and get a quote or get a free analysis of your existing quote. Plain and simple. No spam, no hassle, just peace of mind. Go to thatmortgageguydawn.com.
Hello, Floridians. Today's a good day to do great things. Yes! Like scheduling the dentist appointment you've been putting off for 2 years.
Oh, man.
Like finally fixing that creaky door that drives you crazy. Like getting that massage you definitely deserve.
Oh, yeah.
Or taking time to make sure that your air conditioner is ready to beat the heat all summer long. Do something great today, right now, by booking your $159 AC rejuvenation at cooltoday.com.
Call today, cool today, cooltoday.com.
Life is full of ifs. If you see potential in every day, if you push for that promotion, and even bigger ifs like if you say, I do. If you can cash flow like a pro and get paid up to 2 days early, if you can safeguard against surprises and supercharge your savings, the if in life becomes less iffy. Regions Life Banking makes it possible. If you're interested.
Let's talk about the if in life. Regions Bank, embrace the if in life.
Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Every morning, start your day getting caught up with West 2 News Sunrise.
I'm Meredith McDonough.
And I'm Jason Guy. Here for you with breaking news from around Central Florida.
We want to get back to that breaking news out of Orange County.
Giving you an accurate forecast to plan your day by.
We're also starting off with some cloud cover.
And steering you clear of the backups to make your commute a breeze.
Your travel times out the door are looking pretty good this morning.
Wake up knowing you're ready for today with Jason, Mare, Kellyanne, and Megan. Wake up with West 2 News Sunrise. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m.
Okay, tonight on NBC, it's not one, but two hilarious season finales.
Starting with Night Court.
How'd you get a gavel?
It's TV's #1 new comedy, and critics have ruled it's irresistible.
Can I get a gavel?
Then the case for the perfect night continues with Lopez versus Lopez.
Objection! George Lopez makes me laugh so hard it hurts.
Overruled.
Two can't-miss season finales.
Night Court and Lopez versus Lopez.
Tonight on NBC.
The perfect night of comedy. Case closed.
Starting at 8 on West 2.
Join Orange County Public Schools, hiring for food service roles and more. Bonuses for many roles. Benefits valued at $21,000 a year. Career fair at Orlando's University High School this Wednesday from 4 until 7 p.m. Application help and on-the-spot interviews. Details at jobs.ocps.net.
Sharing your health story matters.
I knew since I was 5 years old that I wanted to be a nurse. I equated it to helping people and making them feel better. I am gently retired, but even though I'm not at the bedside, I'm able to do just as much work in the community. I've been fortunate to participate in All of Us.
Joining the All of Us research program means contributing to research that may help people of different backgrounds.
I received DNA genetic profiling that showed that my body metabolizes medicine slower than average. Now I had proof of what I've known about myself all along that are specific to me, to my genes. I'm sharing my story because if I can make a difference, then I'm all in.
Share your health stories today and help guide the discoveries of tomorrow. Learn more at joinallofus.org/NIH. Paid for by the All of Us Research Program.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Pray.com's Meditative Prayers podcast is the best way to bring God's perfect peace into your night. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fight anxiety, sleep better, and more.
As you close your eyes, ask God to come and have fellowship with you. Open yourself to the Holy Spirit and ask Him to minister to you.
Listen to Meditative Prayers on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Courtney texted me. I was talking about how I had one staring at me on my dash, and it said, "You're about to run out of gas, dummy," when I was trying to drop off the shirts yesterday. And I was just on edge. I was freaking out. My car's about to sputter into the gas station, and Courtney sends me this, says, "How many miles left when the car says 0 miles on your dash?" You have from 10 to 50 miles of extra distance.
No.
That's what this says.
I wouldn't trust that for a second.
How far you can travel on an empty tank does depend on the make and model of your car. Once the fuel light comes on, the average distance you could drive your car is usually around 49 miles. Yeah, but that's what mine lights up and tells me. It says 49 miles or something, right when the gas light comes on. And then from there, I brought it all the way down to 0.
Yeah,
So-
those are two different things. The gas light coming on and the car saying 0 miles.
Yeah, the gas light coming on doesn't give it makes me panic, but it doesn't give me the level of panic that 1 mile on the indicator gives me. So I'm not sure. That's probably just talking about the first thing from the gaslight lighting up.
Yeah, one of the times I saw that there was like 0 gallons or 0 miles to the gallon was when I was in a situation where I was driving around different cars all the time, and I would find myself driving a diesel-powered car for a couple months, and I was not used to having to look for a specific gas station that had diesel.
Because it's not everywhere.
I did not know where they were. And so there were a couple times where it got right down to that last little bit there.
White knuckle.
Because I had to find the diesel.
Yeah, I could see that being a problem. There is a teacher who has been arrested. They cuffed her. They arrested this woman. I can't believe it.
And you're coming to her defense.
I may. I'm not sure how full-throated I want to be in my support of this substitute teacher.
Open up, baby.
But substitute teaching is a tough job. They said a substitute teacher in Lake County is facing child abuse charges. All right? And that's what I'm going to defend her on. This is not child abuse, okay? This was not child abuse. If this woman is convicted of child abuse, that is ridiculous. Investigators said she was arrested. Jennifer Hale is her name. Last week at Eustis Middle School. According to a police report, it was the last period of the day. The substitute teacher heard a 7th grader talking about his friend wanting to vape, and she said, I've got one right here. And she pulled her vape out. She said, you want to take a hit? The kid hit her vape one time, and she said, don't tell anybody. And then she walked
and guess
away.
What the kid did?
And the kid told somebody. What a
I
big
mean,
move.
Do we not know by now that the whole telling your kid don't tell anybody thing is never, ever, ever a thing?
No.
Bite your tongue, because when I did perhaps things that were not supposed to be told, and I was told not to say anything, I did not say anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
We didn't
either.
have vape back in the day, but perhaps here I am telling it, but it's years later.
And
I scored a cigarette from a teacher once.
A teacher gave you a cigarette? What grade?
I think it was like a junior or senior.
Okay, so you're like
How old is this
16-ish, somewhere around there. This kid is a 7th grader.
Okay,
who
so
hit the old Benjamin.
I mean, that was a really bad move on the teacher's part.
Benjamin. Yeah, went to Blinkerton. Yeah,
That's what, a 12-year-old?
Vape language, all these things that they say. How old are you?
Benjamin?
You're 12?
In 7th grade,
Yeah, that's pretty young.
12, 13.
This kid goes up, the teacher goes, I have a vape. And they're talking about needing to hit a vape. And he hits it once. And she's like, don't tell anybody. And then she gets ratted out, right? And okay, should the teacher have let the kid, this 7th grader, have the vape pen? No. That shouldn't have been something that the teacher did. And her answer for doing so is kind of illuminating in a completely different way. Her reasoning for why she did this, and I'll get to that in a moment. But is it child abuse? No. It's not child abuse.
I don't even know if I would
what would
say
you categorize that in, though?
either child endangerment, but I think that's even a little also
Contributing to the delinquency of a minor, maybe?
That's exactly what I would think of, because I know that there were times where I think we got busted having a party at a hotel once, and the cops were throwing around, I think they were trying to threaten the manager of the hotel with like contributing to the delinquency of a minor, even though one of us had to be 18 to get the hotel room.
Yeah, of course.
So it wouldn't have been that. But I mean,
it's not child abuse.
It's
though.
no.
That's insane to me. And you have the parents that always clutch their pearls. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Jennifer Hunter is a mom to an 8th grader at Eustis Middle School. Teachers, it's scary now. I never thought a substitute teacher would give my child that, or someone else's child, any of that stuff, just other students. This all went down in the final period of class, and she's now facing child abuse charges.
Were they? This is a good question from Laheva Rasta on Twitch. Was it a cigarette vape or a weed vape?
It doesn't specify, but I think it was just a regular vape, just a traditional regular
Cigarette
vape.
vape,
Yeah,
tobacco.
They said Eustis police say Hale is facing child abuse charges, which is insane and stupid. She has a responsibility to that classroom to protect her kids, not abuse them. That poor kid was abused by hitting the vape. God almighty, if you guys didn't do this at some point in your life, everybody's tried this. Every
Does
dad.
it mean that it's right?
No, but it doesn't mean that somebody should get a child abuse charge either. It's
It doesn't
way
mean
overcharging.
it doesn't mean when this substitute teacher wants to get a different job, whether it's in teaching involving children or just a job in general, if they go for a background check on her, there should be a charge of child abuse on her record.
And then she explains it like, I let a kid puff him a vape in this middle school. That's not a reason to hit anybody for child abuse. According to the report, when the principal confronted Hale about what happened, she admitted to it, was escorted off campus, and told not to return. They said the reason she gave for it was surprising. We contacted her, and she immediately, post Miranda rights, confessed to doing it. Her response was she just wanted to fit in. I don't get it. What is there to fit in? You're there to teach a class, not to fit in. But
I mean, that's very true.
Yeah, and that's the big thing.
That's like ripe for sending a nude via Snapchat.
Yep, that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. There's a weird phenomenon that happens. It's almost exclusively with younger female teachers where they feel like they're back in high school again. And they're like, I want to be with the cool kids. I want to fit in with everybody. And instead, the officer is right. Like, your job is not to try to fit in with these people. You're an authority figure.
Okay.
You're the adult in the room.
This is not a younger female teacher.
Oh, how old is she?
Google Eustace teacher vape.
Is it show old man or old lady? Eustace.
Yeah.
Eustace teacher vape. How old is she? Does it say in front of you or no?
It doesn't. I just saw looking at the mugshot.
She looks like she's lived a life.
Let's see it.
She looks like a lady that'll give you a hit off the vape, man.
Yeah, the vape has meth in it.
Jennifer Hale is 50 years old. Okay.
You know, she's been trying to fit in for decades.
She just wanted to fit in. There's a weird phenomenon that happens, though, with these teachers where they want to be cool with the kids, and then they end up doing all kinds of stuff, including having sex with them. In this case, though, child abuse charges are ridiculous. When we come back the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Well, Britney Spears' memoir reportedly delayed because some of the Hollywood elite are scared of what's in it. I've got an update on SWAT, and a surprising update at that. Plus, Sum 41 has become another casualty of society, and all two of their fans are devastated. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. We have a hot day ahead. Afternoon highs will be reaching the low 90s through the Orlando metro with an increase in clouds by this afternoon. Wake-up temperatures for your Wednesday morning will be in the upper 60s with hot highs near 94 degrees in Orlando. Rain chances will be on the way by your Wednesday afternoon, and they do stay elevated throughout the day on Thursday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa's new Rechargers are handcrafted energy drinks to help you power through your day. Made the way you want, iced or frozen, with natural sources of caffeine. Get energy for every day. Gotta have a Wawa.
I'll pay you $100 for last look. When you're doing a deal at a dealership, take a picture of your deal sheet, send it to givemethevin.com. If we can't beat your trade-in offer, I'll send you a check for $100. We do the same thing with CarMax offers. Can't beat a CarMax offer? Send you a check for $100. Worst thing that could happen is you get $100. Best thing that could happen is you get $3,000 more for your car or your trade. We are America's best car buyer for a reason. We'll see you online at givemethevin.com.
Sell us your car. Givemethevin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Here's what Fence Outlet customers have to say about their experience.
Now that the kids are getting older, we needed to get a fence installed because we don't want them wandering into the lake in our backyard, and we most certainly did not want the alligators crawling into our backyard either. So once we called, they came and they surveyed our yard. They showed us what the options were, and within a couple of weeks, they installed the fence, and we were good to go. I'm glad we picked Fence Outlet. They did a really good job.
See for yourself. Go to fenceoutlet.com. That's fenceoutlet.com.
License number C-10252 and C-10803.
Hey, Magic fans, when you're heading out to the Amway Center or anytime you're away from your business, commercial, or residential property, or you have a special event and you want to be sure that you're well protected, contact American Protection Services and Investigations, proud partner of the Orlando Magic. For a full list of our security services, dial 833-4APSI. Over 30 years in the business, your safety is our top priority because your business is our business.
Managing healthcare for yourself, your kids, your aging parents, it's a lot to keep track of everything. Now you have help. Welcome to Village Medical, a whole new kind of primary care that's a lot more caring. Here your doctor really gets to know your family's needs and coordinates all their visits, labs, even prescriptions. Plus, you can make same-day appointments or schedule video or at-home visits, all covered by most insurance. It sounds different because it is different. Go to villagemedical.com and become a patient today.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Sharing your health story matters.
I lost my sister to cervical cancer. When I'm teaching about women's cancers, I'm thinking about her, and I'm doing this for her.
Joining the All of Us research program means contributing to research that may help people of different backgrounds.
This research process will only become better if we have more diverse communities involved. We need to be represented. We need to be part of this medical breakthrough.
Take part in the largest health database of its kind.
Get involved with All of Us because any medical breakthrough that we'll see has to have your input. It has to have part of you in it.
Share your health stories today and help guide the discoveries of tomorrow. Learn more at joinallofus.org/NIH. This message is paid for by the All of Us Research Program.
Orlando City kicks off their U.S. Open Cup Championship defense this Tuesday at Charlotte FC. Watch the match on the CBS Sports Golazo Network, kicking off at 7 p.m. Then the Lions stay on the road for their next MLS regular season match, traveling to Ohio, taking on the Columbus Crew on Saturday, May 13th at 7:30 p.m. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app.
At SimpliSafe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with SimpliSafe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options. Backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. At SimpliSafe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with SimpliSafe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options. Backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
In a world of ever-changing algorithms, you can still find us here. Real Radio 104.1 on Facebook. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
just a moment. All things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always go back and get the podcast. All the links are ready for you at thenewsjunkie.com, including the iHeartRadio link. Click that, subscribe, and you get the podcast every single day. If you've been having that podcast skipping issue, please be patient. I once again followed up with the podcast people, and hopefully we'll get them to resolve
And said, hey, podcast people.
Listen up. And we got a problem here.
WTF.
And hopefully they'll get that sorted out. So thank you for your patience. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it. Even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
I don't know. You guys are just so cool, and you're so good looking, and I'm just not as good looking and cool as you are.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey.
A bitch.
What happened? You broke over there?
I mean, it's in the proper
Red alert,
setting.
everybody.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, it's definitely not working right now.
Oh, no.
Wait.
Vamp,
Beep,
vamp.
boop, boop.
Smoke weed every day.
Hold up. Had the wrong pot up. Hey, but you know who never has the wrong pot up? That mortgage guy Don, thatmortgageguyDon.com, host of the Home Loans Radio Show, the man, the legend, the person who's going to help you out. Refinance, buying your first dream home, debt consolidation. He is there for you. Get a free quote today, a free analysis of your existing quote by going to thatmortgageguyDon.com. It was 23 years ago, 2000, that a U.S. federal appeals court upheld a $5.4 million jury decision that this man right here.
Oh, Michael Bolton?
Michael Bolton is right. And they upheld the $5.4 million jury decision that he plagiarized parts of his song, Love is a Wonderful Thing.
Oh, that's a good one.
From the Isley
Brothers.
Isley Brothers.
Isley or Isley?
I was at Isley.
All right.
Maybe I was wrong.
Oh, then I'm right in between. The Brothers' 1966 song,
The Brothers
also
Isley.
called Love is a Wonderful Thing.
Oh.
So,
well,
yeah,
I
he
mean, that
did.
would make it real obvious if he stole it.
Way to dance around it, Michael. But, yeah, $5.4 million later, and I think Michael is doing just fine. See, Lane, are you okay?
Yeah.
You're not feeling sore? So I got this headline. I wasn't able to get to it yesterday. So first thing off the bat for today's next episode, apparently you got your boot stuck and fell on stage.
Well, I didn't know that happened to you, man. I didn't know you were going to be on
I
the
feel
stage.
fine. What about it? Some kind of old guy that just feels bad after falling down stage?
I mean, also, I often see you
Like
wearing
Sean?
sandals.
Yeah, I fell secretly on stage because nobody videotaped that, thank God. And
everyone saw mine, but
Yeah,
never
yours-
saw a video for it.
yours was a little more public.
Oh, I'm talking about Chris Lane, the country superstar, and he was performing.
Country singer.
My favorite Chris Lane. He's an amazing guy.
Oh, no.
I
He's
love
my
all his
second
songs.
favorite Chris Lane.
Thank you.
My first favorite is UC Lane. But this Chris Lane, who's a lot more famous than you are, was performing a cover of Garth Brooks' Friends in Low Places, and he ended up being in the lowest place, and that was at the bottom of a stage.
Oh, no.
Jack's River Jams, April 27th. He fell backwards on stage. His boot got stuck in a subwoofer. You never
great.
take your boot by a subwoofer.
In the subwoofer?
And he kept on singing through it. He finally got up and he said, well, I don't know what happened, y'all. And I sent you the video.
Okay, let me see.
I want to show the people.
I'm looking at this. Here he is on stage. And,
Yep, and
oh,
there he
down
is.
he goes. Okay, oh, that's weird. It's just like the handle of the subwoofer. The heel of his boot got stuck
And
in
he's
there.
still in it.
So he didn't actually like tumble. He just kind of dropped over backwards because he couldn't get his boot out of the speaker.
They probably, oh, wow. There's like 4 people trying
Yeah, there's
to
a
get his boot out.
There's a team of experts trying to extricate him now from this speaker.
You know, had not as cool Chris Lane been like C Lane and worn a sandal, it wouldn't have been an issue. I
You
don't
never
think.
would have faced this problem.
Also, I don't know that I would have walked on the speakers. Are you supposed to walk on those?
You're not supposed to, I don't think
Oh,
so.
I've walked on a speaker.
It's like it's the
They're there
handle
for
of the
walking.
speaker that he got stuck in.
Those boots were made for walking, just not on subwoofers. This is a surprising move, but I guess there was so much uproar that SWAT has been uncanceled.
I saw this, yeah.
Didn't last very long, but CBS has uncanceled SWAT 2 days after announcing that
Man,
it was canceled.
All that whining from Shamar Moore paid off.
6.5 minutes on Instagram.
And now all
And it
these
worked.
other celebrities who can get their shows canceled are going to
Yeah,
follow
what about
suit.
Call Me Cat. Let's
They're
get her
gonna
on the couch
just
doing
make a
an IG.
long-ass Instagram video whining about things.
It has been renewed for a 7th and final season of 13 episodes. Shamar Moore has changed his tune. He has now said, quote, "Hey, we did it, SWAT fam. Thank you all." It sounds like our traffic guy.
What if they take the 7th season and just make fun of him in every episode and he has to act out all these
I
embarrassing
hope so.
scenes?
A CBS executive said they changed their mind after listening to their viewers and their outpouring of passion for SWAT.
There's probably at least one guy on the SWAT crew that's like, oh, come on, I thought we were done with this.
Exactly. We had moved on.
Shamar.
But apparently the fans of True Lies and East New York were not loud enough because
No.
those are still very canceled after one season.
You got to scream.
This is really sad news for everyone who's still living in 2001, but Sum 41 is breaking up.
You better watch it. You better watch it.
Why?
Because you came in and you're like, the 5 people that still like them. You know what the first thing C-Lane said to me today was? Said, Sum 41 is breaking up.
When's the last time Sum 41 was around and doing anything?
C-Lane's a fan, I guess.
Oh, I was being very sarcastic.
Oh, you don't like Sum 41?
Not that I don't like them, I'm just like, okay, they're broken up. Oh.
Didn't they just get back together?
I don't know because I haven't heard of them since I graduated high school.
Oh, they weren't on the lineup for that
When we were
Vegas
young.
Fest?
Were they?
I don't remember. I thought they might have been, but maybe not.
Well, they're going to do one more worldwide headlining tour that they just announced after also announcing that they're going to be breaking up. But they have one more album, too. So they're just going to try to get that retirement fund all stacked before they call it quits. The band issued a statement saying, being in Sum 41 since 1996 has brought us some of the best moments in our lives. We're forever grateful to our fans, both old and new. They're talking to you two.
Would
The
we
old
call
people.
them breaking up if their announcement is that they're going to go on a farewell tour
They're
and
more
release
like
one
a
more
retirement?
album?
I think they're on the 2023 When We Were Young festival, unless that's already over this year. Was that this year or was that last year that they did that?
No, it was last year.
Was
it was
it?
September
So
or something.
They were scheduled to be on the new one, according to some of these stories I'm seeing.
Part of their farewell tour.
Oh, okay.
Next album's called Heaven and Hell. It's a double album. No word yet on the release date or the dates for the farewell tour. They're currently scheduled to do the Let the Bad Times Roll tour with The Offspring and Simple Plan, another band that I haven't heard of since I graduated high school.
I don't want to rant about dumb things too much, and you only have so much time. So
Very true.
I'll just say this. Bands, stop doing double albums. There's no need for a double album
there
anymore.
is.
A double album is
Yeah,
not
but
a
if
thing
it's your
now.
last album, might as well get all the, old ones.
It's a
now.
digital list for most of these kids. It's not like when Smashing Pumpkins did the double CD thing and you get to open up the big case and you got all this stuff. It's just a list of songs. We don't need a double album anymore.
You sound kind of like a
Sound
get off
cool.
my lawn right
Sound
now.
very cool.
All right, how cool is this? The Weeknd is also retiring.
What?
Yeah. His name.
Oh, what's it gonna go by now?
They have no idea. His next album may be his last hurrah, but only as The Weeknd missing the
E.
third vowel. The guy behind the character will probably continue making his music under another name, maybe his real super cool name, Abel Tesfaye. Abel.
It's not as easy to say as
Yeah.
Weekend.
I'm going through a cathartic
Don't seem
path
able
right
to
now.
say it.
Hey, I want to kill The Weeknd. And that's a direct quote. And I will, eventually. As The Weeknd, I've said everything I can say. Isn't that show coming out soon on HBO, the one that was very controversial?
That's right. Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff about working on the set of that show that was people were saying it was like chaos.
With The Weeknd?
Yeah, they gave him some sort of show.
He's in it, but he also wrote some of it. And then I
Yeah.
think he's also with the guy that was part of Euphoria. And it was supposed to be like how tough it is in Hollywood, but then the set ended up being just like ripe for all the bad stories of Hollywood.
He gets involved in a lot of like different things that a lot of other musicians don't. Like he even had the haunted house at Halloween Horror Nights.
That was fun.
Most people wouldn't get that. It's kind of cool.
Very cool. And until we can see The Weeknd or Sum 41 for the very last time, let's tell you what's on the boob tube. How are you supposed to watch Game 3 and 4 of Jeopardy Masters? That's on ABC. First season finale of Night Court on NBC.
Yeah.
We also have the second season premiere of Judge Steve Harvey on ABC. Series premiere of Dancing Queens on Bravo. That's 6 women compete against each other with professional partners in dance competitions. A competition show you've never heard of before. Or this is actually just the same thing that you would see on ABC, Dancing with the Stars.
There's too many of these shows.
That's okay. We're going to watch it.
It's going to be more.
And
the
on
strike
late
goes
night,
on even longer.
I was about to say, the strike continues, so it's going to be repeat. And you, follow your dreams. Send me on Instagram, at Sabrina Amber. I got a really fun event tonight, so all the information is there on the IG. Do join, and most importantly, stay with me, Murga.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. We still have so much to get to. But when we come back, we got to talk a little bit about toe sucking, if you don't mind.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just something we need to address.
And I tell you that I know what you're talking about, and I was up late.
Yeah?
Just thinking about it.
This stuck with you?
Yeah.
Thinking about.
All right. Well,
not in a good way. Traumatized.
We'll make sense of all of this. This is going to be something that all makes sense when we come back. That's coming up next on the news, Chunky.
3 general managers, 5 midday shows, and 1 corporate bankruptcy. Restructuring. Celebrating 30 years of Real Radio 104.1. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Hey fam, what's happening? Hopefully your Tuesday is going great, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, it seems that we're just experiencing those delays you're used to, and that's of course I-4 eastbound approaching World Drive as well as approaching the beach line from State Road 536. You'll feel delays westbound as well between Central Florida Parkway and State Road 535, but thankfully the turnpike is clear north and southbound, and the same does go for the Greenway. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Take 5 Oil Change. At Take 5, they're faster than you think. Sit back while they do some spring cleaning under the hood of your car. They'll change your oil and install a new air filter faster than you can decide which unused kitchen appliance to donate next. Take 5, the stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Get top deals on everything you need to freshen up your yard, like the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, only at Lowe's. Was $199, now just $149. Plus, get your lawn in shape with up to $15 off select Scott's Easy Seed Lawn Repair Mixes. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
And now, a couple of corny facts. Number 1, there are about 800 kernels in each ear of corn. Number 2, an ear of corn always has an even number of rows. And number 3, Florida sweet corn season ends in June. June? What? Why didn't anybody tell me that it was gonna...
Oh, well, I guess that's a wrap.
It's sweet corn season in Florida. Stop on your way home and get some before it's gone. See more seasonal produce at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Ah, what a day to be a Florida tomato. Sunny, warm, ooh, and expected afternoon showers. I am feeling so fine. You say tomato, I say, what the?
Florida tomatoes. They're ripe for the picking. So look for Fresh from Florida tomatoes where you shop and support our state. See more seasonal produce at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Hey, Monster fans, Russ here. You know what is really scary? Utility rates. So let's talk about solar. You may have seen solar popping up all over the place. Well, there's a good reason. 1 is utility rates are rising. 2, government incentives can dramatically lower the cost to solar. So if you want to go solar, call Solar Source. Monster fans get special access to their new solar estimate tool. Visit solarsource.com/monsters. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Hardworking Americans like you and me are sick and tired of this brutal stock market. Take ownership of your financial future. Visit Phoenix American Hospitality at PAHinvest.com. Their team of experts buys world-renowned hotel brands like Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt and maximizes profitability for an investable REIT that's open to everyone. Visit Phoenix American Hospitality at PAHinvest.com to see their incredible track record of double-digit returns in the most volatile of times. Past performance is no guarantee of future results.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Fence Outlet has the largest assortment of vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and steel fences in Florida. That means we have the styles you want at the guaranteed lowest price. Right now, put no money down and get 0% financing on any fence. Go to fenceoutlet.com today. License number C-10252 and C-10803.
Join Orange County Public Schools, hiring application specialists and more. Bonuses for many roles. Benefits valued at $21,000 a year. Career fair at Orlando's University High School this Wednesday from 4 until 7 p.m. Application help and on-the-spot interviews. Details at jobs.ocps.net.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
ThenewsJunkie.com. And Sean, spelled S-E-A-N, so a misspelling there on the name. Everybody knows it's supposed to be S-H-A-W-N. That's the way this is properly done. But regardless, Sean emails, and he says, on the gas issue you were talking about, if you missed this earlier, I was saying, I was driving to the post office yesterday to drop off insane amounts of boxes from the shirt sale that we just did. And there was 22 boxes, or these big, gigantic boxes. And I load up my car, and I go down there to the post office, and I come back, and I load it up again. And then I couldn't get it all in my car the second time. And I tried to Tetris that damn thing in there. But it took a third time with just one box. So it was just one box going down there. And on the way back, I was screaming and yelling.
There was definitely no way of, like, taking the one remaining box and divvying them up, just shoving harder into the...
I may have been able to do that. But at that point, I just wanted to get it done with.
Right.
And I even was going to, like, ram it into the trunk and then do the thing we put, like, a string and the trunk is open a little bit. But I said, I'll just go for it.
That is very un-Sean Watson.
I know. We didn't end up doing it.
That's more like that truck I saw this morning with all the crap in it.
Yeah. That thing looked like a danger to the streets,
yes,
man. So anyhow, I go down there.
Somebody was scrapping in my neighborhood this morning.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm stuck in the downtown area, and I look down at my dash, and it says 1 mile left on my gas. And I started panicking, and I hit every stoplight and puttered and sputtered my way into the gas station just barely. And Sean says, gas issue. I had a 1998 Mercury Marquis big boat V8 engine.
God, I've always wanted those.
And it had a digital dash. It said how many miles to empty. And when the E came up, I had a legit 30 miles after it said 0. On completely E, 30 miles. Saved my ass more than once, Sean says. Yeah, I mean...
I wouldn't even know to count 30 miles. I mean, unless things started going into the negative.
Well, he's wild, man. And he's like doing like Kramer did on the Seinfeld episode about them running out of gas. He wanted to see just how far he could push the limits. But what happens then is you go, oh, I got an extra 30 miles after 0. And then you program that into your head, and then you're like, it's not really 0.
Whereas with one of my old cars, it had a thing that you could pick between how many miles do I have left or how many gallons do I have left.
Right.
And then when the gallons thing got under 10, that's when I would start to panic.
That's panic mode.
Had nothing to do with the E or with anything. It was like gallons under 10.
That freaks me out far too much. Much like this, and Sabrina said this has kept her up a little bit, I guess?
Yeah, nightmares style.
It's a weird one.
Because be sure to pull up the mugshot.
Okay, I got to bring that up while we're talking about this then.
There's a big difference.
You guys suck toes? You ever had a toe in your mouth?
I have.
Not your own, because I know you had your own in your mouth before.
I guess both of them.
Yeah. So you've had both your own toe?
I mean, you didn't even segue.
And other toes?
You often, when you ask weird-ass questions like that, is, can I ask you guys something personal?
No, I'm just throwing
It's
it.
going to get a little weird.
Have you sucked any toes or what?
Yeah, and I've had my toe sucked, and it ain't bad.
So you're into feet?
I'm not into feet. I'm just up for other things.
You're just not into feet.
Don't knock it until you try it.
Because half of chat, when we went to break, and I said there's a story about sucking toes coming up, they were like, oh, God,
Yeah.
Vile, ah.
Oh, really?
Well, if you have a freshly clean pair of feet, it's
Exactly.
not that weird.
I mean, you have when it comes to sex and exploration, your feet have a lot of nerves on it.
Oh, this is a sex thing.
Well, yeah, kind of.
No, it's gonna when he starts to tell the story, it's going to ruin everything we're going to talk about. So let's preface with when it comes to toe sucking, and your feet have a lot of nerves that are actually attached to your pleasure genitals and organs.
Your pleasure genitals.
Got me right in the pleasure genitals.
Okay, you guys, can we just have an adult conversation?
As
Sorry.
opposed to my work genitals.
Or I can say the bad word. Or I can say the bad words for it.
No, don't say that.
Grow up.
I'm just
both of
saying,
you.
not out of a sexual thing. I just think that toes are hilarious, and
So that's why you suck them?
And my wife doesn't. So if I try to put a tongue, if I'm giving
freaks
out,
her out?
if I'm giving out foot rubbings and I put a tongue down there, she no, get out of there.
And some of you are strange in the decisions that you make in life. Some of you, and I know it's some of you on chat right now who are like, oh, you're disgusting. Sucking toes is degenerate. And some of you will eat things that really shouldn't be eaten.
Are you talking about butt?
Oh, yeah. I'm saying some of you will do that.
That's
but then
a
you're like,
no-go.
ew, sucking
Yeah.
toes? What?
That's a no-go zone for me.
Yeah.
And only because I feel like it takes a lot more maintenance than to even be in that area.
Yeah, I think
I have
that's
no
a terrible
interest.
idea. But I think some people try to juggle those opinions where they're like,
But-
I will do that, but I won't suck on a toe. A toe is far less disgusting than that. In fact, I would argue sucking on a toe is far less disgusting than using the sexual genitals. The pleasure.
Talking about going
genitals.
down on somebody?
Yeah, I think
That's messed up.
I think your toe, just like a nice clean toe, is got less that you're actually getting into.
So Sean's a toe sucker.
No, I'm not. But it's not. I don't think it's repulsive like some of these folks do. I don't get that.
Well, they do, just missionary, I'm pretty sure.
Puke emojis all over chat right now.
And then you have some
get it.
nasty ass feet.
Well,
It's a reflection of you.
Here's the reason that Sabrina's creeped out, and here's the reason why I brought this
And
up.
call me crazy, but I think you're going to be creeped out too.
I don't know. Maybe people are judging this guy too soon.
Okay.
A manager at the Hilton Hotel in downtown Nashville, this may be why the whole prayers for Nashville thing was making the rounds today, has been charged with aggravated burglary and assault after he reportedly entered a guest's room and sucked on his toes. According to Metro Police, 52-year-old David Neal was the night manager at a downtown Nashville Hilton hotel. The police say Neal made a key card and used it to enter the guest room on March 30 at around 5 a.m.
Well, the guest was sleeping.
Yeah, he's in his bed. Pete Brennan is his name.
Not that they flirted earlier.
No. He just saw him at the front desk. And Pete Brennan tells police he woke up and found Neal sucking on his toes. He immediately confronted Neal and recognized him as the person who had came into his room the day before with another employee to address an issue the guest was having with his television. Officers arrived at the hotel and spoke with the toe sucker, who admitted to entering the guest room, but he said he did so after he allegedly smelled smoke and wanted to check on the victim.
And he wanted to make sure his feet weren't fired.
That's how you know he's alive and the smoke didn't kill him. You suck on his toe to see if he wakes up.
I love that it's like you recognized him because you had an issue with your TV before and you forgot to put on socks.
Yeah.
And that manager had one look at his toes and was like, I'm going to suck on those bad boys.
I'm going to get those in my mouth. They said he was arrested for doing this. And now there's a lawsuit against the hotel.
Pull up his mugshot.
All right, let me see. We got to take a look at this guy.
Now, put yourself in a fantasy situation. I have the noise here for you while you pull up the mugshot.
Where my toes are getting sucked?
No, that you've gone to sleep. Your TV's now working.
Yeah, nice.
And you are very comfortable in your Hilton that you've paid however much money, and then you wake up to this man with his mouth sucking on your toes.
He gives off toe sucker vibes. I get just from his mugshot.
He's like, his face is also like, so what? I suck some toes.
Big deal. Want to fight about it? This guy's got quite a look to him. I'll put this up on the
gross.
See It Now section of the News Junkie
I would have knocked
app.
his teeth out.
You would have just kicked him right in the face?
Of course. Multiple times.
I might have given him a chance. Maybe he's good at it, you know?
You do like getting your toes sucked.
Now, if the guy's going to be brave enough to break into a hotel room of a guest and then just start sucking on toes, that guy thinks he's confident enough that his toe sucking abilities are so good that the person will be like, damn, forget about it.
I don't really
fine.
think there's much ability to sucking on some toes.
Well, you would think that about sucking things, but there's people who are good at that and bad at that. And
it's really not that hard.
Toes are included. All of the things. Putting this up on the See It Now section of the News Junkie app right now so you can see the Nashville toe sucker that caused all of this. I'll call him Nashville toe sucker in the See It Now post. Check that out at thenewsjunkie.com and you'll see more about the story. But yeah, that is the creepiest thing I've heard of in a while. Very, very weird move there.
Imagine some of the people whose toes he sucked and didn't wake up.
Yeah. People who are into toes are, well, let's say feet, all right? Because a guy who's sucking on a toe, he has a foot fetish, really. He doesn't have a toe fetish.
No.
He probably likes the whole foot, I would think.
Somewhere there's a person who stayed in Nashville and had a dream that their dog was licking their feet, and they're like, and they woke up and thought, that couldn't have been a thing. My dog's not in Nashville, they're at home.
I think there is a difference between toe sucking and a foot fetish.
Oh, you think there's a line between the two? I think
not a line necessarily, but one who has a foot fetish. For example, Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
One of the characters, Jax.
Yeah, I know.
Who I've been blocked by for many years now. He was very open about his foot fetish. Like he wanted his girlfriends to walk around in sneakers and he wanted to smell their dirty ass feet.
That's interesting.
Yes, and that is different from someone who has just gotten out of the shower and you're getting into, the sexy times, and then you do some toe sucking.
Yeah, all I'm saying is people who have foot fetishes seem to be really driven by the fetish. It's not like, oh yeah, and I also like this. It's like an obsession.
Hey, but I'll take a foot fetish over dressing you up like a baby.
Yeah, that's definitely preferable. But I just don't want you to be popping into my hotel room unannounced.
That Sean likes.
No, I don't like that. I'm not into
Daddy.
that. I'm not into the feet thing either. I'm just into the regular stuff. Just regular stuff is fine for me. Okay, let's see. Let's go over to
let's move on.
The drunken mailman wants to talk about toe sucking, so we can't move on yet. Right here. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. This is probably my fault.
Damn it, Sean.
Probably drunken mailman.
I probably muted it while I was doing the mugshot.
Hey, guys. Happy Tuesday then through the rest of the week.
Hey.
I am down with the toe sucking. Let me tell you something. I will take my girl's toe and I will suck the calluses and dry skin right off that
you're
son bitch.
so nasty.
She loves it.
Why do you
Goes
do
right
that?
up to her working parts.
He's a human
Wiggle, wiggle.
petty egg. This guy. He's like those little fish that you go to, like go to a massage place
Like a
sometimes.
leech?
No, the fish that you put your feet in the water and they like the fish like eat at your.
You've never gotten your toes done.
No, I've never done this, but I've seen people do it before on TV.
I've never had fish in the water.
I'm pretty sure this is
It's
a
like
thing.
a thing in New York.
I've had probably more pedicures than you.
No, I'm not suggesting that this is commonplace. I'm saying that there is places that people can go to, and you put your feet in the water, and there's little fish that like nibble on your feet, and that's supposed to do something good for you, more so than doing it with your mouth. Here is, hang on, let me just refresh the dispatch screen real quick. Here is Laserblade talking about toes.
Hey, junkies.
Hey.
Yeah, as far as the toe sucker mugshot goes, if I'd woken up and found that guy sucking on my toes, he'd be lumped up quite a bit in that mugshot. That's just me.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Yeah, good luck with whatever's hammering back there. Thanks for the dispatch.
Someone's face for sucking toes.
It sounded like an anonymous dispatch, basically. It's just the way the audio was. Here's Snob Wasson, more toes.
What up, junkies?
Hey.
You guys talking about sucking toes. How about the Dalai Lama sucking face?
Oh my God!
Sucking
I almost
faces.
forgot
Yeah,
about
sucking on
that.
stuff.
Suck
Wiggle,
my
wiggle, pop,
tongue.
pop.
People are going to try
We just
to
got away from
pretend.
that, huh?
Yeah.
We just stopped. What?
It's amazing.
We stopped talking to it. I completely forgot about it.
A famous grown man on television
Internationally known.
sucked on a little kid's
No,
tongue.
little kid sucked on his tongue.
A little kid sucked on his tongue, and he told the little kid to do so, and we just went past it. Like,
we're done.
This is fine. This is okay. There's no problems with what we're seeing here. Hey, what other thing? We're like distracted dogs.
It pays to be a religious leader.
We saw another squirrel, and we were like, Dalai Lama, go ahead. Get your tongue sucked on. No big deal. We just get right to the next thing. Let's do a couple more here. We got Sean coming in. Oh, hold on. I think he's the one who sent the email. So let's go over to Sam.
I know my car for sure because my wife hates to pump gas for whatever reason.
Same.
She'll run it down to all zeros knowing we have more trips to go to. So I've been there. My car, when it gets to dash, not even a zero, still has at least 30 miles that I can go.
Can you hear
How
the
angry he is?
resentment in this man's voice?
But still, in his anger, uses his blinker, and I appreciate that.
Ask me about the things that my wife puts in the recycle bin, and you'll hear that same level of...
What should put in the recycling bin?
Whatever she wants.
Styrofoam, sometimes.
So are you going in and double checking that she doesn't put the wrong things in there?
Well, they yell at you, I think. If you put the wrong stuff in the recycle bin, they'll get real mad, which is
And
a
then
joke.
what? Still pick up your recycling?
Yeah, which is a joke because I know the scam recycle people. You're not recycling anything.
No.
The whole thing is a scam. You're just
It's
trying to
not
force
on
us
them
to do stuff.
necessarily.
No, it's not their fault, but the whole thing
It's the
is
city
fake.
taking our money.
Yeah, they take the recycling. Most of it just ends up in the trash. The rest of it they used to ship off to other countries where they just burn it and say
And
they're
get
doing good
paid
stuff.
for it.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
You know
The
what?
whole
I'm
thing.
fired up too. Let's suck some toes.
We need to get better at actual recycling. And they do that some places. Like, I used to know this girl. Her dad ran a company that made vinyl fences, okay? And
like records.
No, fences. Like a vinyl fence you would see. Like
Made out of records.
Not made out of records, no. Like in my backyard, that is a vinyl fence.
Got it.
And
what records did you make it out of?
I couldn't be more clear. There are no records involved.
Sea-Line,
in
doomsday
the
clock
making
it.
of this fence. This is a vinyl fence made out of
Okay,
vinyl
so
material.
it was artists that weren't very popular in the 70s.
It's not that. It's not that at all. It's just vinyl. And we went to the factory where he was working and stuff, and they showed they would buy these recycled pellets, and then they would take all the pellets and they would put it in these injection molds, and they would actually recycle something and make something cool out of it. But that is so rare.
More records.
Strangely enough, I think they might have been able to use them to make. It wasn't related to the other stuff, but strangely enough, I think they might have been able to do that too. Last one here. Here is the drunken mailman.
Hey guys, happy Tuesday then through the rest of the week.
Hey,
Sean,
heard this
guy.
Tell you what, there's nothing, there's no feeling better
Sorry
in the
about
world.
that. Hang on. Let me go over here instead.
You were literally about to play the most disgusting dispatch we've heard all week.
The toe sucking again. Round 2. Here's Concrete Mike.
Happy Tuesday, News Junkie
Already
crew.
played that? Already
So
played that.
this college coach that dropped the F-bomb, I believe it was so well written that they used Chat GPT to write up an apology statement.
Yeah. It's just like you had one dude on this phone call with this radio station saying homophobic stuff, and then the other person's like, I am so sorry at all the harm that I have caused from the saying I obviously am totally in the wrong and I'll take any punishment. It's like, this is not the same person.
No.
This is not the same person who said the other stuff. And one of these is fake, and I'm going to take the guy on the phone as the fake.
Yeah,
the guy, apology guy is fake.
It's not the same person who dropped the F word for gays and then went to correct
You
himself.
guys want me to say it?
Well, you can if you would like, but he went to correct himself, and instead of correcting himself by saying that he shouldn't have used that word, he said Catholic F word for gays.
And there are a lot of them.
Let's go over to one more. Here's Slabba Dabba.
What's up, junkies? Happy today.
Hey.
Great show as always so far. Sean, I was just
So
wondering
far.
if you could drop a link or let me know where to look for the desk that Sabrina got. That one's
Ooh.
probably a little out of my price range, but I'm in the market for a new desk, and I wanted to check out their options because that thing looks freaking sweet. So,
I don't know.
Just
let me know.
Google
Wiggle, wiggle.
Super
Pop, pop.
Ultra Mega Desk.
It's the top listing. If you search for Super Ultra
Super
Mega
cool,
Desk.
the best desk in the whole world.
I have no idea where we got that from. I was looking forever, and I just ended up finding that.
I
After
mean, you haven't even
Amazon?
seen all the
No.
features.
No. That was on
Got
like some.
drawers for days.
Yeah, it's got like a power built into it. It's got all the right stuff to make it into a radio desk, and then a lot of work done to it afterwards. It's still
I
not
bet
done.
If you took a screenshot of it, you could like Google image.
Oh yeah, you probably could. You could probably, if C-Line gets it on the screen, you could probably use Google Lens, which is crazy good.
Back up.
It's amazing how well that thing works. You can take a picture.
All right, snap it right now.
You can take a picture of like
Too many cameras in the way.
Yeah, it might be. You take a picture of a chair in your house, and it will show you that chair.
Oh,
and
speaking
then
of this
you can
chair.
buy it.
This is nice.
Yeah, I don't want you talking about that chair right now. Actually, no, because this chair gets more uncomfortable each day. And now I want one of those chairs.
I mean, you should do it, man. My back feels so much better.
I'm thinking about just switching over there, and then
that.
you go over here.
Look at that.
And that's preposterous. Nobody leans back that far in a chair. She's completely flattened out. It doesn't even make sense to have a chair go back that far. All right, quick break. When we come back, there is a problem in Phoenix that has finally been fixed, and maybe some other people will follow suit. What's going on? You're going to want to hear this. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
You text us at 77031 and we say it on the air. Sometimes we might even give you credit. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Hey fam, what's happening? Hopefully your Tuesday is going great, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, it seems that we're just experiencing those delays you're used to, and that's of course I-4 eastbound approaching World Drive as well as approaching the beach line from State Road 536. You'll feel delays westbound as well between Central Florida Parkway and State Road 535, but thankfully the turnpike is clear north and southbound, and the same does go for the Greenway. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by GetRefunds.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. If you own a business and still haven't applied for the payroll tax refund, we want to pay a licensed tax attorney to see if you're eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
If you're a pro that paints, the Home Depot is here to save you money. Paint stores try to convince you you're getting a good deal by offering deep discounts on paint, but what they don't tell you is the starting price is too high to begin with. The real question is, how much are you paying per gallon? Nobody beats the Home Depot's price per gallon on Behr paint, guaranteed. We offer everyday low prices on every gallon of top-rated Behr paint, stains, and primers. Plus, our pros earn discounts through our Pro Extra Paint Rewards program. That's the value of the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only. See store for details.
The way healthcare works today can be frustrating. So many different doctors to keep track of, different tests, different medications. It's a lot. Welcome to Village Medical, a whole new kind of primary care covered by most Medicare plans. Here, your own doctor coordinates all of your care for you, even talking to your specialists and your pharmacist to manage prescriptions. There's a lot more about Village Medical that we think you'll love. When's the last time you said that about healthcare? Go to villagemedical.com and become a patient today.
Hardworking Americans like you and me are sick and tired of this brutal stock market. Take ownership of your financial future. Visit Phoenix American Hospitality at PAHinvest.com. Their team of experts buys world-renowned hotel brands like Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt and maximizes profitability for an investable REIT that's open to everyone. Visit Phoenix American Hospitality at PAHinvest.com to see their incredible track record of double-digit returns in the most volatile of times. Past performance is no guarantee of future results.
Sharing your health story matters.
I lost my sister to cervical cancer. When I'm teaching about women's cancers, I'm thinking about her, and I'm doing this for her.
Joining the All of Us research program means contributing to research that may help people of different backgrounds.
This research process will only become better if we have more diverse communities involved. We need to be represented. We need to be part of this medical breakthrough.
Take part in the largest health database of its kind.
Get involved with all of us because any medical breakthrough that we'll see has to have your input. It has to have part of you in it.
Share your health stories today and help guide the discoveries of tomorrow. Learn more at joinallofus.org/NIH. This message is paid for by the All of Us Research Program.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
These days, there are plenty of things to worry about, but keeping pests out of your home shouldn't be one of them. That's why you need Massey Services. Massey eliminates pests before they get inside. They start by carefully inspecting the inside and outside of your home and then focus customized treatments on the outside. Best of all, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
Fast food doesn't always have to sound like this. When you buy fresh from Florida, fast food can sound like this. Make quick and easy family meals with the tastiest flavors of Florida. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop and find delicious, refreshing recipes for what's in season at followfreshfromflorida.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Sunday, May 21st at the Amway Center, we have Rumba Bash 2023, the biggest reggaeton show in Orlando, with big stars like Zion y Lennox, Joel Grandi, De La Ghetto, Omar Courts, Pow Pow. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Rumba Bash 2023, Sunday, May 21st at the Amway Center.
Order your Hummer EV at OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Arizona that's been making some news. I'll tell you what's going on with that in a moment. But I heard a story. I almost got into this yesterday on the show, but didn't end up talking about it. I've heard a lot of people in the news talking about this plan for using stuff for Florida's roads, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is the most ridiculous, stupid idea." And I was like, "This doesn't seem like anybody knows what they're talking about here," because I read into this a little bit previously, and I had heard of this being done in other states, or at least the attempt to do so in other states. But the headline is sexy. So the headline says, "Florida eyes plan to use radioactive mining waste in roads."
Oh, yeah, baby.
You're like, wait.
Who wants to grow a third arm?
We're going to use radioactive mining waste in roads? Why are we doing this? And the reason for this is actually kind of complicated, but I think it actually makes sense. I think we should do this. There's a bunch of...
Of course you do.
Well, there's a bunch of companies that do this, and it's usually fertilizer companies. And there's a byproduct when you make fertilizer, when you have like a big factory, you make fertilizer, and it's called phosphogypsum, all right? Phosphogypsum is this byproduct that you get. You get all the good stuff in the fertilizer, and then you got this stuff and you don't know what to do with it on the side. So the phosphogypsum starts piling up, and it piles up into these huge gyp stacks. And take a look at this. If you've never seen these before, they're kind of wild looking. You have them all around you, but you have no idea that they're there because you just don't talk about this stuff.
I always assumed those were trash, like the trash hills.
They kind of look like that
alongside
a little bit.
I-95,
or like a buried landfill or something. I'm trying to find a good example of one of these. Here's some decent ones. So if you Google gyp stacks, GYPSTACKS,
sounds like something your racist uncle would call.
It does. It sounds very gypsy-esque, but this is what happens. So when you make fertilizer, you get this phosphate extract, and then they have to pile it up, and they pile it up, and it gets like to a huge mound. And
it's a mountain.
The mound might be 50 acres wide and like 40 feet high, and they just pile this stuff up, and we don't have anything that we can do with it. But one thing that they found is you can use this for making roads.
But it's radioactive.
It releases some radioactive stuff. It releases a little bit of it. But overall, it's really safe, actually, to work with.
I don't know. Radioactive has been known to be unsafe.
It emits radon gas, but it's not something that's going to get anybody hurt while they
Forrest
do this.
would not.
You don't like radon.
Would not agree. Would not participate.
Put it on the Mo list just to talk to Forrest about.
The radon cowboy would be all for this. Anyhow, so when you have this stuff and you can utilize it to make roads, you can get rid of these giant, ugly, vile piles of this crap that we have all over our country, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and use them in a good way. And yes, there are companies that benefit from this, but they're trying to make it like it's a money grab. Here's what they said. On one side is Mosaic Incorporated, a Tampa-based mining and fertilizer company that has pumped hundreds of thousands of dollars into the campaign coffers of Republicans across the state, including Governor Ron DeSantis. Hundreds of thousands of dollars is not a lot of money in the political world. You're not buying any big favors with that. Mosaic also spent $20,000 to entertain lawmakers at a gathering last year, spearheaded by one of its key allies in the legislature, Rep. Lawrence McClure of Plant City. He reported last year that he owned $6,000 of the company's stock.
Hi, I'm Lawrence McClure. You may remember me from such gypsum stack stories as May 9th.
And the environmental groups are against this. So here's what I'll tell you. In Canada and in Europe, they do this. They do this same exact thing. They utilize this radioactive mining waste, which sounds terrible, to help with roads.
So maybe marketing department needs to come up with a new name for radioactive mining waste.
Well, I think the radioactive mining waste, the way to refer to that way is from environmentalists who are against this.
Yeah.
The people who don't want you to do this. There's other ways that they've used this. Sometimes they take and plant trees all over the top of these gyp stacks, and then they're able to kind of cover it up and make it look a little tiny bit more natural. But it's just like the knee-jerk reaction to radioactive mining waste in our roads. Our roads are going to glow green like The Simpsons.
According to Florida Institute Polytechnic University, says there are currently about 1 billion tons of phosphogypsum stacked in just 24 stacks in Florida.
Yeah, it's wild to think about.
They have amounts of uranium in them, radium.
Yeah, everything has all this crap in it. If you look at almost anything.
But if that's a way to look at it, then it's like, well, let's see what happens.
Well, no, here's how you look at it.
It could have an effect on the environment.
But isn't this the way to look at it? Is it dangerous, and does it have an impact on the environment? Canada does this. England does this. They're way more strict with their regulations on this stuff than we are. Why are they doing it and they have no problem with doing this, but the United States is like, no, our roads are going to glow green and everybody's going to get cancer? It's like, maybe we're wrong about this. Maybe the other countries might be onto something. And
or maybe they're messing up and we have not seen them aftermath.
But they've been doing this for a long time. They've been doing this for a long time while environmentalists in the United States have been against this. How many tons of this did you say we have in the state of Florida alone?
1 billion.
1 billion tons. And we're just piling it up. Put
it in the ocean like everyone else puts their crap.
Put it in the roads. If we can use it to make asphalt and to make the roads and we can get rid of all this crap and it actually helps us out, why would we not do that? That seems like the smartest way to handle something. Get rid of the gross thing and build something else out of it.
We have to dilute it. We can't just make a bridge made of phosphostack.
No, they have to use this as like an additive, basically.
Yeah, there is. In 1989, stacking of phosphogypsum became a legal necessity because the EPA banned the use of it. But in a couple of years later, they modified the rule to allow the use of this with an average radium-226 concentration of less than 10 picocuries per gram. Clearly, is what the safest thing would have been.
That's what I always say.
Picocurie is about a trillionth of a curie, it says somewhere in this thing.
It's not a lot of curie.
They're basically measuring the radiation that comes from this and says, if you only use a little bit in your roads...
and that's what they plan to do.
We can whittle away at this big old stack.
Exactly. So you put a little sprinkle in here, you put a little sprinkle in there, and nobody gets hurt.
Or you get cancer.
Nobody's getting cancer in Canada or England. I don't understand why people freak out about this stuff.
Do you really know that?
Yes, because they're doing it in both of those countries, or they're doing it around the world in all sorts of different places. But these are two places people are very familiar with living in the United States, and places that are far more advanced than we are in terms of their environmental impact studies. They've been focused on this for longer than we have. People aren't dying as a result of this crap. It's just a whole fear-mongering story about radioactive roads that gets people fired up. Vanessa on YouTube says, stupid way to look at it, Wasson. Who jumps off the ledge? What are the cancer rates? The cancer rates are zero. People aren't getting cancer from this being in the roads. It's not happening. It's not a thing. They're doing this in other countries. But we end up looking at this and going, the roads are going to glow green, so we can't do it. I'm the PC on Discord, says at the News Junkie. You mean countries with halfway decent centralized health care are okay with using it for roads? I don't know what you're saying. If they do get cancer, they can handle it. They're fine. It's not something to be afraid of. It looks like in small quantities you can use this and you don't have any issues
Except
with
we
it.
have 1 billion of it to use.
Right. So it's
how are we going to do it in small quantities?
It's going to take a long time, but there's a lot of roads in the state of Florida, right? And when you're redoing all those roads, you chip away at these facilities. How many did you say were in the state of Florida?
25.
25 total facilities?
24 stacks.
And the stacks are nothing small. They're absolutely huge when you look at them. If
Where
we could
are
get rid
they?
of those, I don't know. I guess they're across the state.
I feel like I've seen them. You know, it's
I
when
feel like I've driven
in the
by
middle
one.
of nowhere, and then you look off to the side, and it's either Everglades or it reminds me of like the opening scene of Lion King, and then you see that one mound.
It looks like a white mountain.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like because they build this up.
White mountain,
and it's like the material is white. And it's this huge, huge thing that they build out of this. And if we can get rid of that, we can do good things. Why not? 1200 on Twitch says, to save the earth, we must pave the earth. Hey, whatever it takes, man. Let's just be smart about things and not freak out. All right, I'll get to the hobo situation in Phoenix, Arizona, and also jury duty, and also your dispatches. That is all coming up next on the News Junkie.
This is Real Radio 104.1 on your phone with the iHeartRadio app and on hundreds of devices like Alexa, Google Home, Xbox, and Sonos. We are an iHeartRadio station.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Lakers and their cast of new characters somehow have the Warriors on the brink of elimination after a huge Game 4 win. LeBron disappears for stretches. AD is 50-50 guy. Undrafted Austin Reeves is often leading the charge. And Lonnie Walker was a fourth quarter hero. They head back to the Bay with a commanding 3-1 lead. Now they have to land the knockout punch. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Style runs in the family. Athleticism runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Learn more at MBUSA.com or test drive one at your local dealer.
All all-new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Get top deals on everything you need to freshen up your yard, like the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, only at Lowe's. Was $199, now just $149. Plus, get your lawn in shape with up to $15 off select Scott's Easy Seed Lawn Repair Mixes. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you go, I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
One day you're serving in the military, and then the next day you come home and you're dealing with an injury.
Britton is in recovery from an addiction to prescription opioids.
My opioid misuse and need got so strong. Addiction is hard. You're not going to fix it on your own. You have to reach out for help. The recovery side of it is amazing. You get to a place where you're proud of yourself again.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there is hope. Recovery is possible. Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness.
At Simply Safe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with Simply Safe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options. Backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Claremont Brewing Company in downtown Claremont is your place for craft beer, cocktails, artisanal food, and live music. The most fun you can have drinking beer. Claremont Brewing, official sponsor of Beer of the Week on the Monsters in the Morning. Claremont Brewing Company, downtown Claremont.
Ah, what a day to be a Florida tomato. Sunny, warm, and expected afternoon showers. I am feeling so fine. You say tomato, I say, what the?
Florida tomatoes. They're ripe for the picking. So look for fresh from Florida tomatoes where you shop and support our state. See more seasonal produce at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Life is full of ifs. If you see potential in every day, if you push for that promotion, and even bigger ifs like if you say, I do. If you can cash flow like a pro and get paid up to 2 days early, if you can safeguard against surprises and supercharge your savings, the if in life becomes less iffy. Regions Life Banking makes it possible. If you're interested.
Let's talk about the if in life. Regions Bank, embrace the if in life.
Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Hello, Floridians. Today's a good day to do great things. Yes! Like scheduling the dentist appointment you've been putting off for 2 years.
Oh, man.
Like finally fixing that creaky door that drives you crazy. Like getting that massage you definitely deserve.
Oh, yeah.
Or taking time to make sure that your air conditioner is ready to beat the heat all summer long. Do something great today, right now, by booking your $159 AC rejuvenation at CoolToday.com.
Call today, cool today. CoolToday.com.
Do you know the sound Dunkin' Iced makes? Of course you do. It's that sound of the ice randomly yet rhythmically shaking around the cup, creating the soundtrack to a perfect summer. And summer sure does sound good. Try Dunkin' Refreshers, iced coffee, cold brew, and lattes. America runs on Dunkin'.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
This is Lars. James from Metallica here.
And this is iHeartRadio.
What's up? This is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park.
We're the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Make quick and easy family meals with the tastiest flavors of Florida. Look for the sunny, fresh from Florida logo where you shop and find delicious, refreshing recipes for what's in season at followfreshfromflorida.com.
From the Florida Department of Agriculture.
Holding your virtual hand as the world crumbles. Real Radio 104.1 on Facebook. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Is how Gypstack really does sound like an insult.
Thank you.
Was that guy came over? Oh God, it was a total Gypstack. It sounds like a terrible thing.
It doesn't sound
Catholic
good at all.
So we want to
Well
get
done,
rid of the
C-Lane.
Gypstacks.
Full circle.
What we want to do is we want to eradicate the Gypstacks. We want to get rid of all of them, and if we have to do that by sprinkling a little bit in the roads, genius move. I think that we should do it.
I'm not completely against it, but I am also not completely for it because I'm not a scientist.
I am
and
neither.
that's the thing. Like, I'm not going by these headlines like, well, this is what we're going to do. And the governor says it's fine and Canada does it. Like, I would like to speak to actual scientists to tell me how much of this in the roads before it affects people.
Well, there's scientists in Canada and England, obviously, right? And
Yeah,
then,
but you hate Canada, Sean.
I'm not a huge fan, honestly. But
Exactly. So now you're down with it as long as they put radioactive stuff in their streets?
Here's why I don't like stuff like this. Because news articles come out and they say, radioactive roads DeSantis. And people are like, oh my God, they're going to put radioactive roads out there.
Had me at radioactive roads.
And people lose their mind and go, can you believe, did you see what they're doing? Did you see what they're trying to do? And no one cares
But
to
can
read
you see
it.
the opposite, though?
I can see
Where
why.
it's like, we'll do it because DeSantis said that we should.
I don't know. Maybe some people are doing that. I just read the story. That's all I did. I read the whole story.
From
and then-
what?
I don't even think DeSantis is involved in this yet.
He is.
They just said like the bill was going to go to his desk for the ability to do this.
Right
So
next to the trans one.
he's only responsible for this in as much as he's the governor of the state where they're working on passing this. But I think the case that like this is all bought off by the industry is kind of weak, and it doesn't matter to me anyways. I don't care if somebody buys off politicians as long as the outcome is the right outcome. And when I read through, I was like, this doesn't seem that bad. It seems like a boogeyman, and everybody's using radioactive and radon is being released. Yeah, when you have a mound of it the size of a mountain, yeah, it emits radon, and it's a problem. So if we can get rid of it by spreading it out in all these different places and it doesn't cause any harm, I think some of the places said they mix it with red clay and it sort of negates
Well, what about all the
properties of this
baseball
stuff.
fields?
They have to suffer. Too bad. So we can get rid of these stupid giant
The
gypstacks.
American dream burning in fire.
Gypstacks are stupid and gross and weird, and I don't know why
it still sounds so racist.
we just pile stuff up as human beings. That's what we do. We take all our stuff, we put it in one spot, and we pile it all
We
up.
hoarded it all.
We do. And we do that with like the dumps. When you drive by the dump, you're like, oh, that's right. All this stuff we throw away has to go somewhere. And now it's this big, gross pile of grossness. And we don't figure out ways to get rid of the junk. We don't do enough to go, hey, we stacked up all that crap. Should we do something about it? Nah, we're good. We just keep stacking it up. Just put it over there. And in Florida, we got billions and billions of
They
pounds
had
of
a
it.
perfectly good solution for all this until the syringes started washing up on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, that is problematic. But
Jim Tan overdose.
Flats Fisherman on YouTube says that might be the stupidest effing thing Sean has ever said. Which part? Which part is the stupidest thing? Because if you think
The whole thing.
If you think that this is dangerous, why are there other first world countries that have been doing this for a while, and why are there not any studies that there's anything bad whatsoever that comes from this? It's because you're being dumb. That's what it is. You're being dumb because you see a headline.
That's not
and-
very nice language.
I don't
Sean.
care. You see radioactive and you go, oh, this must mean bad evil. And
Well,
that's
because in the past it's proven to be bad evil.
but that's also a very American thing, too. Americans are so scared of nuclear power and all this other stuff because they don't understand it. They don't know how any of this works.
Yeah,
They
just
think
ask the people of Chernobyl.
Homer Simpson green glowing problem. And nuclear energy is the safest goddamn energy you could possibly get. It's the safest of all the forms of energy. People are so dumb on this. And you're dumb on the glowing roads, too.
Okay, this is not a way to sell it by calling everyone dumb, Sean.
Oh, no, I'm just calling that one guy dumb. Flats Fisherman, in particular. He's the dumb one. He's the one who's going to take the brunt of my ire.
Except when you realize that he is going out fishing and then pulling out these fish that he's never seen before and then tries to make sushi out of it, and it's killing people.
I think that this is a decent idea.
Am I right?
No. I think that this is a decent idea, and I think people are being dumb about it. All right. Staley on YouTube says, I agree with you, Austin. Let's do something with it. Well, yeah, it's better than piling it up. I think we could do that.
Is it going to a vote, though? Like, do we even have a say to it?
No, I think that
they're going to do it, and we don't have no idea.
I think that the politicians in Tallahassee got together, and they said, we can get rid of this junk, and we can make it so we don't have these big, giant mountains of this stuff all over the state of Florida.
So we can put a new target.
And they're passing legislation, I guess, that would change the way the regulations work and make it so they could resell this, and then they could put it in the roads or whatever. I haven't seen a single study, though, that says this is harmful to do. So if anybody has that, please do send me a study over at tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Otherwise, you're being a dumb, hyperventilating monkey who got upset by the word nuclear or radiation or any of those things.
Things that will kill you.
My question is, so they're trying to push this law through in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The Mosaic people are kind of behind it.
Yep.
They've donated a lot of money.
They're trying to connect the dots.
Different campaigns and stuff.
Yeah.
But they own a lot of this big jib stack.
Yeah, they definitely
They want
do.
to get it off their hands.
They definitely do.
Make a bunch more money.
And they're trying to say, look, because they paid some money to some politicians, which isn't a significant amount of money overall in terms of lobbying. Like, you don't lobby for a couple $100,000.
But-
You lobby with millions and millions of dollars.
All right, but my question that I'm getting to here, roundabout, is would this bill, if it is a bill that's going through right now, be enough to overturn the ruling of the EPA? What is the EPA nationwide?
I don't know enough about it to know whether or not they have like a firm rule against it, or whether it's like the states have the ability to supersede those kind of rules. I just don't know what the answer to that is. But I'd like to see more. I'd like to see if we can get rid of crap and turn it into something useful. Then go for it. I think that's a good thing to do. Fernando says, right, Sean, we never jump into things and then later find out it was bad. Government, they are always known to do the best. Well, of course that happens, but don't be a moron. If you have this sort of chemical that we have piling up, and we have a long history of understanding this with the fertilizer industry, they know how safe and unsafe it is, and they know what quantities it's safe and unsafe at. And so if they know those things and they know a way to use it, you're just being dumb with no reason to be dumb.
Okay, but then for the sake of devil's advocate here, like, they know how safe and unsafe it is, but they also know how much money that they could make off of it.
Of course.
And at what point do you trust people that they're going to consider the safety versus how much they can profit?
All you have to do is make sure that you're regulating these things and watching them and making sure that people aren't placed in danger, looking at other countries who have done this and seeing if they have any problems. Have people gotten sick? I haven't seen a single person who's ever gotten sick from this. I haven't seen
you haven't?
No, I haven't seen anything. Nobody has. None of these stories mention, hey, when it was done in this country, this
Have they
happened.
determined what all the people got cancer from where you grew up?
In the acreage? No. They just said it was a cancer cluster and it wasn't Pratt & Whitney's fault.
Okay.
But I'm sure
Makes
it was
sense.
not this. This is all conspiracies, all this stuff. All the stuff you're saying is
clearly
conspiracy.
all these people got sick from something.
You think it was this stuff?
Do you think it was just an act of God?
Well, I don't think it was this
No,
stuff.
it was probably a harmful chemical.
I don't think it was from gypsum stacks.
Okay, do you think it's from a harmful chemical?
I have no idea. It could have just been random. I have no idea. I know that they've...
Come on, man. Now you're just... Now we have to, like, find a middle ground here where there was probably someone who was responsible for it, but they paid enough to make them not responsible.
Look, I would like more than anybody else to say that I know why both of my parents got cancer, and it was a terrible, bad guy company spilling a bunch of bad chemicals in my backyard that did that. I would like to say that, but I don't know that that's the case. In fact, I have no evidence whatsoever to say that's the case. I have no evidence whatsoever in this case to say that this is some sort of dumb idea or dangerous idea, which is actually more important. Okay, let's see. Let's go over to this. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm.
Did you see the Baby Shark music video?
I saw it, but I didn't. I bookmarked it. I didn't get to hit play.
It is a gem.
Because I was somewhere where I couldn't have the audio up, and I thought, of all the audios to have up, this is not the one.
Yeah.
It's well done. I mean, it's the audio that we heard about 15 times on Friday. But there is an actual graphic to it, and it's lovely.
And there's a costume involved.
Somebody made something out of AI, too. They tweeted me. They were like, I took the Baby Shark thing and made some AI concoction for Mo DeWitt. And that thing's going viral out there. I enjoy that people are having fun with that. Okay, there is a new bill that is headed through the legislature in the Sunshine State, in this case, and heading to Ron DeSantis for his signature. And this is going to be something that affects all of you out there that are parents. It could change the way that your kids use their cell phones in school. WPTV says HB 379, formerly titled Technology in K-12 Public Schools, would require social media safety to be taught to older students and would also prohibit students from using social media while on school district internet access. And they're talking about how they're going to enforce this, which is going to be a difficult thing to do. But nothing about this seems too bad to me, actually. I'm kind of surprised if there's like a school Wi-Fi that they wouldn't have already blocked the social media websites. Like, why wouldn't they already have that on the filtered list?
I don't know that Wi-Fi was integrated enough when I was in high school for there to have been a school Wi-Fi.
No,
I don't think there was.
We certainly didn't.
I think I had Wi-Fi. I think I had Wi-Fi at my house.
Yeah.
No, I didn't use data. I didn't have a data plan. I don't believe.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget when I got like a BlackBerry or something, and then my mom called me after I was like away. I think it was working at camp. And she's like, we just got a $900 bill.
I did have something similar to that because I got
and I was able to fight it, but it was because of using data and going on Facebook for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think I was even on Facebook until I had already graduated high school. But
nerd.
I didn't have a. Why does that make me a nerd?
It was a joke. It was
Makes you an old nerd.
But I had a phone that did that, and where they charged by the kilobyte or something ridiculous.
Insane.
And got some pretty high bills.
But I do like the idea of teaching kids, as simple as it sounds, about social media. And it's about consequences from social media. I think when they say they're going to target older students, I think it's kind of important to get in before that.
Agreed.
Like maybe middle school or before middle school, when kids are just getting old enough to start going on social media platforms. Why would you do it when they're already like 17 years old? They probably already made mistakes on social media. If you're going to teach them about like
that will come to haunt them.
Yeah, like, hey, if you think you could just throw out some kind of death threat on here, if you post something that people find to be insulting, there's repercussions that could come from this. There's like a lot of good lessons I think you could teach younger kids before they get into the world, inevitably, of social media. So I don't hate that. And I wish they would toss that in this class with like, here's how you work your finances. Here's how you improve your credit score.
This is how the medical insurance works.
Like basically an adulting class, right? Where we all missed out on some of these things.
But what about geometry?
Yeah.
And algebra.
And how do you buy a house? That's a lesson that would be very useful for all these people. But with none of it touches on that stuff. Even I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Anyhow, I think that would be good. What do you think? Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. When we come back, I'll probably yell some more. Plus, we'll finally get to the hobos in Arizona and a bunch more on the way. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio 104.1 is 30 years old. Guess it's time to move out of our parents' guest house. Garage. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
Hey fam, what's happening? Hopefully your Tuesday is going great, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, it seems that we're just experiencing those delays you're used to, and that's of course I-4 eastbound approaching World Drive as well as approaching the beach line from State Road 536. You'll feel delays westbound as well between Central Florida Parkway and State Road 535, but thankfully the turnpike is clear north and southbound, and the same does go for the Greenway. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
I'm back, and look at all the Fresh from Florida produce I brought home.
Fresh from Florida produce is fresh as fresh can get.
It's refreshing to know that locally grown Fresh from Florida produce is available year-round.
Well, that's a breath of fresh air.
Look for Fresh from Florida where you shop.
From the Florida Department of Agriculture.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
At Simply Safe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with Simply Safe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options, backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Did you suffer through 2022 with a terrible bathroom? You wanted to make that call to Rebath in Mid-Florida. You just couldn't do it. Well, make 2023 the year that you finally need to pick up that phone and let these guys show you what they can do. And what they can do is amazing. Take a bathroom that you hate, it's old, it's out of date, doesn't look great, doesn't really complement your home, and turn that into a magical spa-like environment that you begin or end every day in, and it makes you super happy. Here's the great thing. They do this with their employees. They do it in just 4 to 6 days, and they give you a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. And guys, these products are simply amazing. Natural stone, travertine, and marble, all those beautiful colors. But it's the quality of the products that you've got to feel when you go to the showroom. 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. Stop in, feel that quality, picture that in your house. That can happen. They're exceptionally good at it. Let them design a bathroom that you are going to love using their products, your ideas, their ideas. And next thing you know, their craftsmen will have it installed and you will love it. 2023 is the year that you get a new bathroom courtesy of Rebath, midfla.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, Navage is the best thing I've bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing. Or this one. I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
FAS Windows and Doors is the company to use to make your house feel better and look better. You know what they can do? Get rid of those single-pane aluminum frame windows and get you double-insulated vinyl windows. That'll save you money, make your AC work less, make your house look better and feel better. And I tell you, man, they can do it for you fast. Their showroom, easy to find. Fairbanks and I-4, slide in, pick out the windows that you love, have them installed by their pros, and your house will never, ever be the same. And they can even do that for you in the door as well. Book your consultation today easily at faswd.com.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
One day you're serving in the military, and then the next day you come home and you're dealing with an injury.
Britton is in recovery from an addiction to prescription opioids.
My opioid misuse and need got so strong. Addiction is hard. You're not going to fix it on your own. You have to reach out for help. The recovery side of it is amazing. You get to a place where you're proud of yourself again.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there is hope. Recovery is possible. Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password, for you to become a victim. LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to lifelock.com.
Welcome to Pollo Tropical. Would you like to try our new coconut shrimp?
Coconut shrimp, shrimp and the coconut. Coconut shrimp, coconut shrimp.
Coco y camarón.
Pollo is serving up perfectly golden, sweet and savory coconut shrimp in a bowl, platter, or on the side with our pineapple rum sauce. We're going coconuts for the all-new coconut shrimp, only at Pollo Tropical.
Coconut shrimp, coco y camarón.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
From yelling at you for being stupid and just taking on chatters one at a time over the dumb Radiation Road story.
Is that what you did that whole break?
just
get up and take a walk, man. This is not good for you.
I wasn't typing with any of the chatters. I was just talking during the last
Screaming
break.
out loud.
During the last segment, I was.
I thought you meant you just spent the time that it took for us to play a couple commercials.
That's for after the show, C-Lane.
Tippity typing.
I don't argue with these folks via text. I don't do that. I'll yell at you.
I've seen you argue with some folks via text.
Not very often. When did you see me argue with people via text?
I don't remember the last time.
Definitely not the texting service. I don't even look at the texting service. I just see people who I go, oh my God, the inability to think is so strong with this one. You got to use your brain. God gave you that. Your parents gave you that. It probably works decent enough. Just try
Unless,
to be a little
you're
smarter.
born in a radioactive area, then it might be a little.
Oh my God, you! Why do you say these things? Why do you toss these things out?
What, to have a good time?
Unbelievable. Oh my God. All right.
Text me about it.
I'm going to talk about something different here for a second. And it's completely and totally unrelated, but it kind of blew my mind. And Courtney and I have been watching this movie series. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I think it's called Fear Street. Have you guys ever heard of that?
I've heard of it. Have not seen it.
Okay. Fear Street is like...
Fear Street sounds like the kind of street that's made out of radioactive material.
Why do you do that? See the difference in the reaction?
Yours was just, you're throwing bombs out there.
What do you mean bombs?
That's what you do all the time when I'm talking
It was
about.
the same exact
but
thing.
Everybody's dying of radiation. And I'm like, now I got to go to tackle that. Now I've got to address
You don't have to tackle anything.
I have to.
Tackle Fear Street.
Fear Street, okay?
I watched Dawn of the Dead last night. Any relation? Is there any zombies?
There's not zombies, but it's kind of like a horror thriller kind of movie, right?
Purgy?
Not really. It's about like a bunch of monsters and witches and that kind of stuff that are attacking these young people. And there's Fear Street 1, Fear Street 2, and Fear Street 3. It's the Fear Street trilogy. And it's basically like a campy teenager horror film, like the first Scream or something.
Okay.
That's the vibes you get from this. But that's not even what I really want to talk about. While we were watching the movie, the movie starts off with the first movie, which is supposed to take place, I think, in the 90s. I don't know exactly what year. 94, I think it's supposed to take place in 1994. And they start off with Nine Inch Nails' Closer.
Nice.
And I'm like, let me see. Did that come out in 1994? And it sure as hell did. It came out in 1994. And the soundtrack is all the major songs from 1994.
Ooh, I love that.
But there was so many hits on this soundtrack. I said, I don't know how they made a dime with this movie. It is expensive to license songs in a movie. And let me see if I can find this list here. Because the second movie is based in 1978. So it's all songs from 1978.
And as you were listening to it, you know that those are the official recordings of them.
Yeah, it's
because
a real
I feel
thing.
like there is a dance around when you can have like a re-recording of it,
Uh-huh.
pay a little less.
Yeah, it's the real one.
A friend of mine who used to be involved with, or probably still is, occasionally involved with licensing music, has told me stories about how they'll try to get a certain song for a certain project, and
Yeah.
it'll be a horror-related project, so it'd be something like this, and it's like, if they can negotiate the rights with the band, but then get a cover that's like creepier because a boys choir, recorded it or something like that.
They did that in Westworld a little bit.
Yeah.
where they did the covers
Westworld,
that kinda
their player
creepy.
piano was playing all the Radiohead songs, and,
Yeah.
like different popular songs, but that was a lot cheaper. Is what Sabrina was referring
this is
to.
the actual songs, and when you're watching the movie, almost always there's a song playing in the background. Almost always there's a song that's part of the scene. And you go, oh my God, they'll go from one to another to another. It starts out with Nine Inch Nails' Closer. It has Bush Machine Head. It has Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover. It has Cypress
CeCe
Hill.
Peniston?
It has that's Sophie B. Hawkins, I think.
I always think that's CeCe.
It has Creep by Radiohead. It has More Human Than Human by White Zombie. It has Killing Me Softly by Roberta Flack. It's got Snoop Dogg. It's got The Prodigy, Firestarter. It's got Hey by the Pixies.
That has to be part of a package.
I don't know how it couldn't be, because how expensive would it be to license all of these songs?
They just did a blanket license for Now That's What I Call Music 1994.
Exactly.
They might have.
And they got the thing. They got it good.
And the one in the 70s is like David Bowie.
What people say.
Multiple David Bowie songs. Like Love Will Keep Us Together. It's insane to me. Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. And just watching the movie, you go, how in the hell did they ever afford to do this? They must have paid the teenage actors in the movie nothing. And they must have spent all the money on that.
So I Googled it immediately, and then you know how they have on the right side the synopsis, characters, director, and then it says production company, 20th Century Studios, but uncredited.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
What? So they were behind the production, but they didn't put them in the intro or anything?
Maybe they're the reason why they have all those free songs.
I don't know how they did it, but it was just astonishing.
They were there, but they just didn't play the.
Also, I'm so used to 20th Century Fox. The idea that they went to just 20th Century Studios gets me every time. I feel like you haven't resolved the melody or something when they say it that way.
So was it a good watch, honestly?
It was okay. It was like just okay. But the soundtrack is banging, and they're playing song after song after song. It was very, very wild to hear.
Should
how
ask
many they have.
that dude you guys talked to earlier.
Yeah,
I wonder if he has any idea.
I would like to talk to somebody who's in the music licensing world, because I've heard so many stories. Like I've heard stories about they used a Green Day song in one episode of The Office.
Seinfeld.
Wait, and The Office did it too, though.
Okay.
It was karaoke scene where Dwight is singing, or somebody singing "I Walk Alone" or whatever.
I thought you. Okay, yeah. All right.
And I heard a behind the scenes thing, and they were saying, I think it cost like $40,000 to use that song, and it was maybe 8 to 10 seconds of the song. Like it really wasn't like you heard the entire song.
So they knew how much it would be replayed.
Yeah,
gave them a flat fee.
Yeah, and I guess they can be more and more expensive based on stuff like that too.
I think the much more ridiculous price tag I heard was of Michael calling up Jan and saying, or calling up whoever it was first and saying, "I got 2 tickets to Paradise. Pack your bags. We're leaving day after tomorrow."
Yeah,
and it was like a big price tag just to throw
say that
2 lines of an Eddie Murphy song in, or
Eddie Money.
Eddie Money.
Eddie Murphy probably liked it.
I'm making waffles.
His song was
My Girl Wants to Party all the time.
Yeah.
So
I
just to
get down
get
with
those
that
couple
song.
lines in there for Michael Scott to sing them, that was pretty expensive. When you said Green Day, I thought you were going to mention how the other way works, where I'm sure Seinfeld didn't pay a whole lot for Good Riddance when they used it in that clip special right before the last episode. That was huge for that song.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with stuff like that, this is so much harder. Where you're describing having this like hit list of amazing songs from a particular period versus being involved with a newer production and having to find up and comers.
Yeah.
And like there was
Which is what soundtracks do a lot.
When you think about the resurgence of Kate Bush's song, right, with Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Like, people had not heard that song either ever or since the, 80s?
Yeah, it had
early
not,
90s.
It had not been played a lot.
And then we'll have to ask...
She wasn't getting in the rock hall before then.
We'll have to ask Fritz, because I know he had a lot of information on it, but there was a particular song that was used in The Last of Us that was, I think, by Pearl Jam. Maybe just Eddie Vedder wrote it. And Neil Druckmann had personally reached out to him and said, like, can we please use it?
Right.
Begged it for many weeks or years. I don't know what, the story
to get
is.
access to the song.
And then they finally allowed it, but it wasn't a song that was widely known.
Yeah.
And will be in this next season.
Yeah, it's interesting how that can just blow something up. And running down that hill or whatever the hell it is, by
Up,
Kate
I
Bush,
think.
running up the hill.
Down?
That song
Around
wasn't just played in a snippet on the series. Like, they really leaned on that song. It was played in all kinds of episodes and a lot. So that probably would have been even more expensive, because I think the licensing fees are based on the amount of use that the song gets and like how prominent it is in the scene. Is it on a radio in the background?
I think it's also how much do you want it?
Yeah.
How much, there's probably some negotiation behind the scenes here. How much do you really want to use this song?
How much does it improve your movie?
Yeah.
Well, movie makers, Corvus Incorporated songs, ripe and ready
Man.
for any sort of movie.
Maybe they should have just told Eddie Money that we do have a different line, and we've already filmed it, where he uses Eddie Murphy's song. My girl likes
be on
Jamaica
top?
all the time.
And Eddie Murphy's cool with this. Eddie Murphy doesn't mind.
You know who does this a lot that you don't really think of, but Krista Miller, whose husband is Bill Lawrence, was involved with Scrubs, and he's on Ted Lasso now.
Yeah.
And he's mostly behind the scenes, but she's in a lot of his stuff. She was in Scrubs, in Cougar Town. She helps him pick the music for
I've
a lot
heard
of the
that
things.
before.
And there was like a story where Ed Sheeran basically came up to her at a restaurant and said, "Hey, don't go anywhere. I have something for you." And he came back and brought her a guitar signed by him, because he's like, "I was paycheck to paycheck when you picked such and such song for
Really?
Cougar Town."
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's interesting, because she doesn't program for a radio station.
No.
Doesn't do it, but she's really, really impactful in like blowing up bands that people have never heard of. It's wild.
Right.
In Arizona, they're taking on one of these homeless towns. They called it the Zone in downtown Phoenix. It was about 900 or so people out in the sidewalks, and they had camps up, they had tents up, they were doing drugs out in public. It was a whole scene. It was killing the businesses around there, including some that have been owned by families for decades and decades and decades, generations even. And it was just growing and growing and growing. And finally, they did what a lot of these other cities have not done, and they said enough is enough. And they're saying this is starting to work in a big way. Over on CNN, they said the young widow watched as helpers wended through the zone at sunrise. That's the name of this homeless encampment, offering what they could: water, a bus ticket, or a shelter bed if one was open. Standing beside her tent, Rayanne Denny sized up the sprawling camp of 900 or so people, CNN says. It's a whole nother world. The soft-spoken 37-year-old ended up homeless last year after her husband died and she couldn't pay the bills alone. This camp, she said, can be a lot of drama with flares of violence, but she won't stay in a shelter with the rules and curfew as she relies on drugs to get through her days. I just try to keep myself high so I don't have to deal with the pain, she said.
Okay.
And this is what was going on in this homeless encampment in Phoenix, and it was just growing and growing and growing. And they said, we gotta solve this problem. And they haven't done this in a lot of other places. They just let it grow. In Los Angeles, certainly they've done this a lot. Here's the story as they're starting to see some success in getting some of these folks out of the area.
From today, the city of Phoenix will begin to clean up the homeless.
It's all over the
encampment in
sidewalk.
Downtown Phoenix, known as the Zone. But ABC 15 political reporter Mark Phillips
AutoZone.
says the clearing appears to have already started.
The number of people who live in the zone appears to have dropped significantly. The scene Wednesday, compared to what the area looked like in December.
My God, this guy sounds so much like that angry comedian guy, Lewis Black. This guy sounds so much
Go
like...
back.
Well, let me play this back here. Listen.
Significantly. The scene Wednesday,
Yeah, he
compared
does.
to what the area looked like in December.
Wow! It sounds just like him. It's like the same exact voice.
And then moving forward, I've never seen a brighter hat in my life.
Yeah, this guy is not going to get hit at night. He's safe from any of the vehicles driving around the zone with his yellow-ass hat. And he's one of the many people who are in this area.
I know is they putting people in hotels, so that's all I know.
The city's Office of Homeless Solutions says it's doing outreach in the zone, working to get people off the streets in advance of the May 10th start to a block-by-block cleanup.
So they're
John
trying to get ahead of
says
it.
he lives in a tent on what he thinks will be the first street targeted. If Phoenix is offering to help him, he says, he's ready to accept.
So they're trying to get rid of these homeless people and get these encampments out that are killing the businesses by going around the city, and they find like dilapidated, unkept hotels, and they try to put a little bit of money into it and open up more shelter rooms for people who are homeless in these,
Not a crazy idea.
these circumstances. And they've talked about doing this in other cities too, because without a doubt, look, when I see a giant area of tents and crap and homeless people out on the streets, I don't think it's empathetic to let people live like that. I don't think it's empathetic to let people live in open air drug dens. And I don't think it's empathetic to have people just living on the streets and say, oh, just leave them alone. It's no big deal. It's not bothering you. I think what you should do is clean up the streets and get them out of there. But you have to have shelter beds for them to be in.
Mhm.
They have to exist somewhere, right?
What happened to that homeless island? Did that ever
they-
come to fruition?
I don't know if they did homeless
We
island.
didn't really talk much
That was
more
what,
about
Miami, right?
Yeah. And a whole idea to start a homeless island.
They even had an island picked up.
And they had like these
They
big
did.
giant tents, I guess you could say, like or like, I don't know if there's a better word for it, but it was like a big building that they had that these folks were going to live in over there. And then nothing more was said about that. But they're going to open up more places for these folks to be. Look, the hard truth that some people don't want to hear about homelessness is very often homelessness is tied to two things. It's in the vast majority of cases, it's mental illness and it is drug addiction or alcohol addiction. That is the vast majority of cases where somebody is homeless and perpetually homeless on the streets. These are people who are not just like, hey, I've been on the streets for a month, but that's how they live their life, all right? And when you have those people, you have to set up addiction centers to deal with them, not open air places where they can do drugs and you don't go after them. That makes things worse. You set up addiction centers to get these people help, and you set up places where they can have some kind of shelter and rebuild their life. Of course, there will always be some who choose to live that life. Yes, that's a fact. There are people who want to be homeless. They don't want to live with the rest of society the way we do.
Vagabond.
There are people who are just, that's what they're into. They want to live life that way, and nothing is going to change that. But the rest of the people who do have an interest in bringing themselves up and fixing things, I think this sounds like a good idea. It seems like it's maybe even working here. We'll see if we can get the hobos into the hotels and see that in more cities. I'll talk about the Title 42 thing because a lot of people are talking about the border and a lot of people don't know exactly what's going on there. Plus, we're going to hear from you. You're next. Your dispatch is on the way. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Facebook may have changed how it looks, but we still remain your source for the content you never knew you needed or wanted. Real Radio 1041 on Facebook, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Hey fam, what's happening? Hopefully your Tuesday is going great, and right now on the major highways and roads of Orlando, it seems that we're just experiencing those delays you're used to, and that's of course I-4 eastbound approaching World Drive as well as approaching the beach line from State Road 536. You'll feel delays westbound as well between Central Florida Parkway and State Road 535, but thankfully the turnpike is clear north and southbound, and the same does go for the Greenway. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing. Summit Racing has the parts and accessories to get your ride summer road trip ready. With millions of parts from the best brands in stock, you'll find exactly what you need to hit the highway or take the road less traveled. SummitRacing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
This hour is sponsored by Barks in the City, June 3rd at Apopka Amphitheater.
Turnpike Troubadours are coming to the Orlando Amphitheater Saturday, November 4th.
On a long, hot summer day.
With Blackberry Smoke. Plus Jason Boland and the Stragglers. Turnpike Troubadours tickets are available at 10 Friday through Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Turnpike Troubadours, Saturday, November 4th at the Orlando Amphitheater. Presented by Mammoth.
If you ride a motorcycle in Florida, someone can hit you and hurt you and legally not have insurance to pay you. Uninsured motorist coverage can help save you from financial ruin. Injured on the go? Just call Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
If you're a Dunkin' Rewards member, Mondays might be your new favorite day of the week because every Monday in May, you get a free medium hot or iced coffee with any purchase. Not a member? Join on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per Monday. Additional charges and terms apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Let the professionals at Fence Outlet save you time and money. We handle everything from the free estimate to the install. We do it all. And you get 0% financing. So come into Fence Outlet or visit fenceoutlet.com today. License number C-10252 and C-10803.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Have you noticed that solar panels are popping up everywhere? You never know who's going to have solar next. And here's a thought, it could be you. Utility rates keep going up, and now is a great time to save big with Solar Source. Solar Source has been getting the job done in Central Florida for almost 40 years. And right now, Monster fans get special access to their new AI-powered tool that can get you an estimate in 1 minute or less. Visit solarsource.com/monsters for an instant quote.
We're talking with Dr. Chris Jones, Director for the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. What can we do to raise awareness and understanding of fentanyl use?
At CDC, we're focused on providing information and steps that people can take to save their own life or to save someone else's life. We have to acknowledge the problem, that it exists in our communities, among people that we see and love and are dealing with every day, and let these messages permeate our conversations. But also to know that the more we can have this conversation, the more we can combat stigma, and the more we can communicate on solutions, the more lives we can save. I'd like to say to listeners that if anything we talked about today resonated with you or has been your lived experience, think about sharing it with those around you and those you know and love. Sharing this information can save a life.
For more information, go to cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
Hello, Floridians. Today's a good day to do great things. Yes! Like scheduling the dentist appointment you've been putting off for 2 years.
Oh, man.
Like finally fixing that creaky door that drives you crazy. Like getting that massage you definitely deserve.
Oh, yeah.
Or taking time to make sure that your air conditioner is ready to beat the heat all summer long. Do something great today, right now, by booking your $159 AC rejuvenation at CoolToday.com.
Call today, cool today, CoolToday.com.
Sharing your health story matters.
I knew since I was 5 years old that I wanted to be a nurse. I equated it to helping people and making them feel better. I am gently retired, but even though I'm not at the bedside, I'm able to do just as much work in the community. I've been fortunate to participate in All of Us.
Joining the All of Us research program means contributing to research that may help people of different backgrounds.
I received DNA genetic profiling that showed that my body metabolizes medicine slower than average. Now I had proof of what I've known about myself all along. song that is specific to me, to my genes. I'm sharing my story because if I can make a difference, then I'm all in.
Share your health stories today and help guide the discoveries of tomorrow. Learn more at joinallofus.org/NIH. Paid for by the All of Us Research Program.
Pray.com's Meditative Prayers podcast is the best way to bring God's perfect peace into your night. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fight anxiety, sleep better, and more.
As you close your eyes, ask God to come and have fellowship with you. Open yourself to the Holy Spirit and ask Him to minister to you.
Listen to Meditative Prayers on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
At Morgan & Morgan, the fee is free. You don't pay us anything unless we win your case.
And Kevin emails. He said, you might be wrong about this whole Gypstacks thing. He said, for the Tampa Bay Tribune, and he sends an article. I actually already read this. I read this, I think, yesterday or something. They said there are other views to be considered. The opinion piece on Tampa Bay, which is Piney Point and Manatee, shows why the EPA needs to crack down on gypstacks. And they go in depth on this. This is like an environmental activist who wrote an opinion piece on this. And what they do is what a lot of other people have done with this stuff. I don't understand why they're doing this, other than that they're obsessed about, not having this stuff in the roads, and radioactive roads are dangerous. But they talk about 2 or 3 different times where there was collapses on these gypstacks, and then there was basically an avalanche of all the material.
It was kind of a sinkhole, right?
Yeah, like a bunch of it kind of cratered in, and then some of it got into a waterway, and it was like a huge amount of this stuff that got into this waterway, and some of the fish died. And they're like, you see, this is dangerous. And it's like, oh my God. Yeah, well, of course, when something in such huge quantities goes into a body of water, obviously it's going to do that. And that's why you have to remember, one simple thing to think about is it already exists, right? Almost all of these are in the state of Florida, almost all those big gypstacks. I guess just because we're the people making the fertilizer.
Yeah.
I didn't know Florida was the place where all the fertilizer was made, but I guess that's the case, because this is the byproduct of making fertilizer, and they're trying to put it in the roads to get rid of it. Whether we put it in the roads,
or they're just making fertilizer other places, and they're like, send it to Florida.
Yeah,
stack it up down south.
We just have to deal with all of it.
Let's give them some fake mountains.
They'll buy into it. They don't get real snow, so we'll give them what looks like these big white mountains all over the state of Florida. This is one of these things where people talk about the most extreme cases, and you have to understand, we're living with this already. We have in the state of Florida, what they say, 20 of these things or something?
24?
24 of them, billions of tons or something. This is an unbelievable amount of these things. We already have them. They're already here. So whether they're in a big giant stack somewhere or sprinkled here and there in the asphalt with some red clay, what does it matter? You're going to be out there taking bites of the road and trying to see if this is having an impact on your body? The only people who would be at risk would be the people who work on the construction crew, and they haven't proven in these other countries where they're trying it, that in Canada or anywhere else, that there seems to be any significant risk. I just don't see it.
I think that the actual risk and the reason that the EPA originally said, and this was back in what, 1989, 1992 or something, when they started.
It was like 30 years ago.
When they started actually making rulings on this stuff, there was a lot of things that had to happen for this stuff to give you an increased risk of cancer. Trying to talk slowly so this page will load. But anyway,
blocker warning.
Back to the Florida Polytechnic University, the one that looks like a big vagina.
Seems legit. Oh, this is the one where they have a big pile of this stuff.
No. This is just the Polytech University. They have
it's just
an
shaped like
article about it. Okay, and it says this is the one that had all that really specific like numbers and stuff we never heard of, and it's really scientific jargon, but they kind of give you a different, more understandable scenario at the end of this article about why the EPA or what has to happen for the EPA to rule this out at first. It says the scenario upon which the EPA banned widespread phosphogypsum use concerned it in road construction and agriculture. The scenarios assume that the road or farm field built with this stuff in it would be abandoned 100 years later, and that a home would be built on the land.
Okay, and that's where they got the danger from.
But the homeowner would have to live in that house, same house, for 70 years and stay in that house 18 hours a day. Under that scenario, 100 years after the building, and then 70 years for 18 hours a day in the home that was built on the land. The EPA risk assessment predicts the homeowner might have too high a risk of contracting cancer, about 100 dose units per year beyond the natural background radiation dose of 360, meaning we get about 360 dose units of cancer per year.
Yeah.
Just being regular.
Essentially, the EPA has said if the road was made with this stuff, and then they said, forget the road being here, let's make this a neighborhood, and they put a house on it, and somebody lives in that house for 70 years, and they're like a recluse, they're in the house all the time, they will have a slightly higher risk of cancer as a result of that. I mean, that's a pretty wild hypothetical.
The slightly higher is 100 dose units per year, whereas the average 2-pack-a-day smoker subjects him or herself to about 8,000 dose units per year.
My God, that seems a little far-fetched. Meanwhile, on the border, things are about to get real interesting. May 11th is the date to remember. Today's May 9th, of course. That's 2 days from now. And starting May 11th, there's going to be a lot more aggressive Biden administration policies and increased consequences because of the, what do they call it, sunsetting of something called Title 42. And Title 42 is like, hey, it's a pandemic going on. We're going to change the way we handle immigration here. Now, with Title 42 ending, because the pandemic is ending or has ended already, they're saying that all these people are going to face a much more difficult time getting into the United States. What does that mean? That means everybody's trying to get here before May 11th.
Oh.
So there's like a huge surge of people who are
or a big ass party.
There's some of these groups of like 20,000 people all together along the border waiting to get into the country. And they think right before it, there's going to be a huge, huge uptick in this. When Title 42 expires, border officials will return to fully enforcing Title 8 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. Asylum seekers will run up against a patchwork of Biden administration policies that couple increased consequences with expanded legal pathways. It's going to be a messy situation. They don't know how this is going to play out, but they think that there is going to be a big run on the border ahead of Title 42 and even afterwards as well. So something to keep in mind. You'll see that in the headlines. An Australian woman is doing all right. She got lost in a remote bushland, but she survived for 5 days on all she had. What did she have that kept her alive? Just wine and lollipops.
That's all we need. Let's go.
That's all she had out there. Her car got stuck in the mud.
She was hammered when
How long was she going?
I hope so. It says 5 days she was out there. She was wandering around on foot because she didn't know where she was. Search team spotted her.
Why do you just have lollipops and wine on you?
It says that those were the provisions that she had.
What kind of party is that?
She had lollipops and a bottle of wine she bought as a gift. She said she was okay when she was found and was grateful to see the police, and they were just as happy to see her. So you could survive on lollipops and wine. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
She did tear up a squirrel to smithereens, but didn't mention that.
It might have been a weird 5 days. It might have been quite the ride for her out there. All right, when we come back, we're going to wrap everything up. Final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up later today on the Jim Colbert Show, your chance to win tickets to Aerosmith Peace Out the Farewell Tour with the Black Crowes at Amalie Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 p.m. on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. We have a hot day ahead. Afternoon highs will be reaching the low 90s through the Orlando metro with an increase in clouds by this afternoon. Wake-up temperatures for your Wednesday morning will be in the upper 60s with hot highs near 94 degrees in Orlando. Rain chances will be on the way by your Wednesday afternoon, and they do stay elevated throughout the day on Thursday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro.
This report is sponsored by Insperity, providing scalable HR services, access to better benefits, payroll, and HR technology for over 35 years. Insperity's mission is to help businesses succeed so communities prosper. Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Visit Insperity.com.
Folks, we live in Central Florida. It is so important that your air conditioning works perfectly every single time you want it to. That's why I strongly suggest a call to Mills Air. Look, this is a great company run by Leon Mills. He's been at this since 1992, 30 years of hard work and experience keeping Central Florida cool. They do this by treating people right. They do this by being honest. They do this by being the person that you can rely on. Their techs are the best out there. They can service any brand out there. You don't even have to remember the name of another AC company in the state of Florida because Mills Air is the best. They're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. They can get you big rebates toward a brand new unit. I think up to $1,275 in rebates. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family owned and operated Mills Air. Give them a call. Here's the number: 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Welcome to Pollo Tropical. Would you like to try our new coconut shrimp?
Coconut shrimp, coconut shrimp, shrimp and the coconut. Coconut shrimp, coconut shrimp.
Coco y camarón.
Pollo is serving up perfectly golden, sweet, and savory coconut shrimp in a bowl, platter, or on the side with our pineapple rum sauce. We're going coconuts for the all-new coconut shrimp, only at Pollo Tropical.
Coconut shrimp, coco y camarón.
Let's cross, stuck in, hurrah! Oh, what a goal!
Orlando City kicks off their U.S. Open Cup Championship defense this Tuesday at Charlotte FC. Watch the match on the CBS Sports Golazo Network, kicking off at 7 p.m. Then the Lions stay on the road for their next MLS regular season match, traveling to Ohio, taking on the Columbus Crew on Saturday, May 13th at 7:30 p.m. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app.
Fast food doesn't always have to sound like this. When you buy fresh from Florida, fast food can sound like this. Make quick and easy family meals with the tastiest flavors of Florida. Look for the Sun Shop and find delicious, refreshing recipes for what's in season at followfreshfromflorida.com.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There is no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Orlando, for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Fence Outlet has the largest selection of fencing options in the state with over 400,000 square feet of showroom and warehouse space. Get 0% financing for 12 months for your gorgeous new fence. Book your appointment online today. Go to fenceoutlet.com. License number C-10252 and C-10803.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order, so every bite is hot and juicy every time. Because we love making you a burger that tastes exactly how it should.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love. Welcome to Delicious. To everyone who craves a handcrafted treat, let our team member Sephora tell you about a Culver's favorite.
We make our thick and creamy fresh frozen custard in small batches all throughout the day. And we mean all day, every day. From our supremely rich shakes and concrete mixers to our freshly scooped dishes and cones, we handcraft every bite to pure perfection. Making you a sweet treat with care is the best part of my day.
Come to Culver's and get a taste of our fresh frozen custard.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Every morning, start your day getting caught up with West 2 News Sunrise.
I'm Meredith McDonough.
And I'm Jason Guy. Here for you with breaking news from around Central Florida.
We want to get back to that breaking news out of Orange County.
Giving you an accurate forecast to plan your day by.
We're also starting off with some cloud cover.
And steering you clear of the backups to make your commute a breeze.
Your travel times out the door are looking pretty good this morning.
Wake up knowing you're ready for today with Jason, Mare, Kellyanne, and Megan. Wake up with West 2 News Sunrise. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m.
Okay, tonight on NBC, it's not one, but two hilarious season finales.
Starting with Night Court.
How'd you get a gavel?
It's TV's #1 new comedy, and critics have ruled it's irresistible.
Can I get a gavel?
Then the case for the perfect night continues with Lopez versus Lopez.
Objection! George Lopez makes me laugh so hard it hurts.
Overruled.
Two can't-miss season finales.
Night Court and Lopez versus Lopez.
Tonight on NBC.
The perfect night of comedy. Case closed.
Starting at 8 on West 2.
Any size iced coffee is only $1.29 at 7-Eleven with 7 rewards. But it's not just iced coffee, it's sacred. Some say you can't put a price on it, but 7-Eleven did. It's $1.29 any size iced coffee.
Offer good through 6/27/23 plus tax. See app for details.
Summit Racing has the parts and accessories to get your ride summer road trip ready. With millions of parts from the best brands in stock, you'll find exactly what you need to hit the highway or take the road less traveled. SummitRacing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
This hour is sponsored by Barks in the City, June 3rd at Apopka Amphitheater. Radio. Radio. 104.1.
Final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. And I'm sure Sabrina excited to go home and see if Carl's doing all right.
Yes, I did have a neighbor check.
Oh, good.
And he was doing well.
He's just starry-eyed for his medication.
He has like he's like a bump of fluids.
Ooh.
Like in his back. Apparently that's a thing.
It's normal. We've had Lexi get fluids, and they're like, it'll just be a bump for a while, it'll go down. It's kind of like a hematoma, but with not with blood.
So that's the stuff that they actually put into the dog's body to balance him out? Oh, man.
But yeah, no, I'm very glad he's okay. And oh my God, you just reminded me. This is where I have to say goodbye.
Yeah. Well,
Should we let him in?
You may see them tomorrow morning.
You sure? I
don't
gave
know.
them snacks. I brought them some treats to go home with.
I don't know. My sister's coming to get the dogs finally tomorrow, and they've been here for about 6 weeks.
How do I?
And Elvis and Simon are on their last full day, but you
Sweet
might
boys.
see them tomorrow morning, depending on what time she gets here.
I'll get here at 7 a.m. just to say goodbye.
I will be waking up just to see them go. No, they're both really cute dogs. They're really cute and sweet.
I mean, I think that you and Courtney did something really wonderful, and you have proved to everyone that you could do it, including yourself.
Oof. One dog is the right amount of dogs for me. I don't know if you're in that ballpark too, Celine. You've had a guest dog for quite some time now. Longer than I've had these two dogs. So you got to be going on.
Y'all are with me. Like, I have
months.
3 animals altogether.
Yeah,
but 2 cats are fine.
Cats are easy peasy. Cats, like, they don't even, like, raise my stress levels up. You got 3 dogs, and they're all fighting each other, barking at the same time. And
oh, yeah.
I don't know. One thing that amazes me.
My dog barks more because of guest dogs.
Yes, right. They start to, like, feed off each other. One thing that amazes me now is when I go to the park and I see people walking like 3 dogs. Don't know how the hell you do that. I don't know how you as a human being can do that. I'm impressed now that I know this much. All right, let's do the final dispatches here. We're going to work in a couple. Let's see what we got. Here is the Big Show with the dispatch.
News junkies, what's going on? Your man Big Show here.
Hey.
So when I lived in Tampa, there was a homeless guy that was in South Howard shopping center.
Okay.
And I would always ask the owner of the UPS store, why does he talk to him? Why does he, he's like South Howard, if you guys know Tampa, is very uppity. And he told me he was a prominent lawyer at one point.
Really?
Until his mom died, and he just started drinking, and he lost his practice, and now he's sober, but he just can't get ahead in life. And yeah, it's very sad. So after that, every time I would talk to him, every time I would see him, I would just have a conversation with him. I tried to offer him a job, and he just seemed like he wanted to get on his feet, but his heart was in law. So I don't know whatever happened to him, but I hope he's all right.
Yeah, one thing that you have to understand, the Big Show, and I'm sure you know this just from talking to this guy, is people go, well, just get a job and just start going to work. And that can be done, and that's good. But if somebody has been living on the streets for 20 years, it's not very easy for that person to just be like, well, I'm going to be in a cubicle today, and I'm going to some around in my desk chair here.
Even
and
buying a suit to go to the job interview.
Yeah, all of it is foreign. It seems very foreign to them. And some of them go, rather than go through that, I'd rather just be homeless. Some people actually do want that as their life. That's the choice that they make. It's a small fraction of the overall people. Like I said, a large portion are people who are either addicted to drugs or alcohol, and it just ruins everything for them, or they have mental illness, or the real killer is the combination of the both. When you got mental illness issues and you also have addiction issues that you're struggling with in tandem, and then you got somebody who, that's a real tough thing to fix. Here's Pizza Peisenberg. He says, I'm in the zone, bro.
Perfect time to pick up a new advertiser, guys. AutoZone, swoop in here. Get in the zone, homeless zone.
I think Sabrina sang that.
Tip
Very...
your street poopers.
Or after? I don't know. Some point in time. I heard somebody in the studio sing the AutoZone song.
I did. That was me.
Here is Papa Ligma with the dispatch.
What up, News Junkies?
Hey!
We went to a screening of Clerks 3 last year, and during the Q&A with Kevin Smith, he had talked about how a lot of the music that he gets for his movies and the licensing process for it, and it really boils down to the fact that you're paying such a large sum of money for a song because it's going to be replayed over and over and over again.
Of course.
Depending on how many times the movie is viewed. So you're kind of paying that one big sum of money. If you ever get a chance to look up the interviews he does about music licensing, it's a very interesting
I would
deep dive
listen
into
the hell out
world
of
of
those.
movie making. Just thought I'd offer my 2 cents.
Yeah,
Have a good one.
I find that interesting, too. All right, let's just wrap things up here. The stories that didn't make the cut. They said City of Orlando is dismissing claims that it might purchase the Pulse nightclub property. Where do those claims come from? The Pomus family. They said, we hear rumors that the city is really interested all of a sudden in buying Pulse. And the city goes, no, we didn't say that. We didn't start any of those conversations.
Did you hear no one reached out to get the interview, huh?
No. I mean, I didn't see anything on the email side of things. Who knows? Maybe they don't want to answer questions, but I need to reach out. I'll be proactive about that.
I will be tonight for the Centers having their big celebrity bartending event.
Oh, nice.
And so I feel like I'm going to probably run into some people that are familiar. And
Okay.
I
Is
can-
that the one I saw the flyer for where one of the drag queens is named Ginger Beer?
Oh, yes.
I love that name.
Yeah, if you guys, it's going to be at Savoy tonight, and will be my shift is 7 to 8, and then I am competing against the people of that shift to get the
You gotta
top
get the most
dollar.
tips?
Yeah.
All right.
And of course, it all goes to the center, which is a great center for everyone that needs advocacy or even HIV testing, or there's a lot more to it. It's a wonderful place, and it goes to a great cause. So,
Well, go check out at Sabrina Ambra on Instagram if you want more information about that. Let's wrap everything up today. Let's get out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. Today I Learned sponsored by J. David Tax Law. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away. Today I Learned this guy. This is the show.
This is Charles in Charge.
That's right, Charles in Charge.
Well done.
Stupid
Scott
song.
Baio, we talked about him yesterday. In an episode of Charles in Charge, 15-year-old Tiffany Amber Thiessen played his girlfriend. He was at the time 29 years old.
All right.
So, little bit awkward. Today I learned there were only 21 days between the first atomic bomb test to see if they worked and the Hiroshima bombing on August 6th.
Looks good to me.
To roll
Let's
it out.
fly it.
Today I learned this guy right here.
John.
Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond
God,
is
you're on
correct.
fire.
Taylor, Neil Diamond, his album Hot August Night was the #1 charting album in Australia for the 1970s.
It was about jam.
It re-entered the Australian top 10 in 1982, had another chart run in 1991 to 1992, and peaked at number 21 and was back on the charts in 2014.
You're crazy, Neil.
Mostly because of movie soundtracks.
Yeah.
The movies come out and people hear the song again. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. In West Palm Beach, it's the Greek Zone on the way.
Look at you.
In Orlando, it's the Jim Colbert Show. They're